Gambella isinto, isinto, isinto. Gambella isinto, isinto. Gambella isinto, isinto. Gambella isinto. I'm leaving for Africa. The tears in her eyes told me she'll miss her son. From Ghana to Nigeria and all the way to Somalia. Oh, Africa, here I come. Mama, I'm leaving for Africa. The tears in her eyes told me she'll miss her son. From Kenya to Zimbabwe, from Morocco to South Africa. Oh, Africa, here I come. Chiri America, mama, America, Nina. 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 Woke up in the morning, right around 10 to. Mama made some breakfast, came to me and said, son, you need to be a man. You need to go to Africa, oh Africa. To all my brothers and sisters, we are all one. From Ghana to Nigeria, to all the way to Somalia. Mama, mama, here I Chiri America, mama, America, Nina. 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 Let me tell you what we've been through. Woke up in the morning, right around 10 to. Mama made some breakfast, came to me and said, son, you need to be a man, you need to go to Africa. Oh. this ego in the world, all this ego in the world, all this ego in the world. Yeah. Ungazama kabi, aumetlisha moya, aumetlisha moya. Auzieni zinkomo za kwenu lelia kaya. One of the biggest tragedies is thinking that life is gonna last forever, not realizing that this very moment could be the very last moment. This could be your very last breath. This could be the last time you open your eyes. You know, life, man, life is beautiful, life is incredible, life is magical. You know, life is something that should be cherished. You know, life is something that should be honored. You know, life is something that should be respected. You know, but, you know, the crazy thing about life is that life goes on. You know, life goes on, with or without you. You know, with or without me. And it's so important that we acknowledge that and accept that, you know, because you are gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna die. The people that we love, the people that we care about, they are gonna die, and we have to acknowledge that. We have to come to peace with that, you know. And it's only then that we can really live, because you have to live before you die. You know, you have to live before you die. All this ego. Forces pulling me down, but I'm fighting it. You know what I'm about. I'm denying it, killing my vibe, but it's not the vibe. It's not the vibe. It's not the vibe. Forces pulling me down, but I'm fighting it. You know what I'm about. I'm denying it, killing my vibe, but it's not the vibe. It's not the vibe. It's not the vibe. Shaya lekan, uzenai, hambanai. Shaya lekan, uzenai, hambanai. Shaya lekan, uzenai, hambanai.
42 teams, soon to be 48. We'll know who stands in their way to World Cup glory tonight. The biggest World Cup ever takes center stage in 2026. So big, in fact, that we need not one, not two, but 3 countries to host it. Mexico, Canada, and the United States of America. So nice, I'll say it twice. Mexico, Canada, and the United States of America will welcome the world in the month-long finals to see who succeeds Argentina as the world's best. One team that will have most of our attention tonight is a country that has gone from World Cup novices to qualifying for 6 of the last 7 World Cups. Our own Black Stars. However, recent poor performances mean the Black Stars face yet another uphill task to make the long finals run. They find themselves in pot 4 and need to go through 3 higher seeded teams to advance. Tonight, we'll find out who those teams are. I'm not doing this alone. I have 3 wonderful gentlemen with me in the studio. First off, Coach Christopher Nimley joins us on City FM. Coach, welcome.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you so much, Charlie. We are pumped.
Yes, we are.
Look, this is the biggest sporting event in the world in terms of mileage, in terms of money. When the World Cup is coming around, everything, if not quadrupled, I don't know what the factor may be. Today, we are bringing every country in the world, every continent, from the physicality and the clear technique from Africa to the flair of South America to the actual tenacity of the Europeans, through to the speed of the Asian continent, with those from Australia and co coming with their clear intent of making it possible where whatever they want to do. I think we are here practically because we are Ghanaians and we are interested in the Black Stars of Ghana. I was on my way here. I passed by my church premises where the women were doing some wonderful things, and when I told them, they wanted me to stay. They said, no, I've got the World Cup draw to go and cover. And it was like, oh, it's today the draw. And one of the very beautiful lady in the church, Heaven's Gate Temple, ICGC, just said that I pray the Black Stars of Ghana get a very good draw because we just can't go and return back here to Ghana. Our team will have to stay as long as possible in the US of A, in Canada, in Mexico. And if that is going to be practically possible, it starts from today. So look, Charlie, we are ready. We are ready to take listeners and viewers through the draw, and we are hoping that it will be a befitting draw for the Black Stars of Ghana.
Well, as Coach says, we are ready. Also with us is Yao, AJ Minta. Yao, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Edwin.
Yeah. Any early thoughts from you? We just had Coach Nimley.
Early thoughts. I'm just looking at a situation where, yes, we end up getting drawn in a very tough group. I'm looking at what has led to Ghana being able to get to this point, our 5th qualification to the World Cup. You look at the previous 4 appearances that we've made. All the appearances that we've made, we've ended up getting drawn in very tough groups. Twice in the group of death, and on the other 2 occasions, we ended up getting drawn in very competitive groups, which could easily pass for a group of death in other tournaments. And so, looking at where Ghana finds itself in terms of the pots, and looking at the caliber of nations that have qualified so far in the other pots, yes, I do expect to see Ghana getting drawn in a very tough group. So once that happens, or should that happen, I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Early thoughts from Yao, AJ Minta. My final guest is Manuel Kwache. Manuel, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
So, early thoughts from you on what you expect from tonight?
No, I think this is just like the official build-up. Obviously, we know that the World Cup is coming, but I think once you start seeing the draw, once you start seeing what teams will be playing, we will just build up the excitement. So, personally, I'm just looking forward to seeing how the whole event unfolds. What will be. If we get a hard group and we're not able to get out, it's the luck of the draw. But I think that based on how many teams are in the competition this year, and it's 48, there have been a lot of teams who are now qualifying to the World Cup for the first time. I think it would be a disappointment if we're unable to get out of the group. But that's a long way down the line. I think tonight we just need to see who our opponents are, and then we need to start preparing towards that.
That was Manuel Kwache with his initial thoughts. If you're listening to us live on City FM. If you're watching us live on Channel 1 TV. If you're on X, you're on @City 97.3. If you're on Facebook, you're on City FM's Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, there are 3 ways to find us: on City Sports GHA, on City FM's official page, and on Channel 1 TV. Drop your comments. I'll get to them when I can. But it's now time for some conversation. Of course, it's a huge World Cup, the biggest ever. And I'll start from where Manuel, you ended, and I'm going to go from coach to you, back to you. It's 48 teams. The first time we're seeing 48 teams. Some traditionalists are saying that the competition might be diluted from 32 teams. You know, we used to see exciting football anytime those 32 teams gathered in one location to play the world football. Do you think it's a right decision to move from 32 to 48, given the fact, the argument people have made that we might see a dilution of the football that we normally get at the World Cup?
To be very honest with you, I'm one of those people who felt that there wasn't the need to increase the number of countries from 32 to 48, because for me, I have followed the World Cup. I was since I was born, since I had an open eye. I believe I started watching football at the age of 3 years, and I've always loved it whenever the World Cup has come around. So the standard of the World Cup is so high that I was completely against the dilution of the tournament. But having said that, in recent years, for example, from the last World Cup, who thought that Saudi Arabia would have been the only team to have beaten the eventual world champions? Nobody saw that coming, isn't it? But the problem associated with that is that how many of most of these minnows who will be at the tournament, who have qualified for the tournament, can go out there and put up the sort of performances that Saudi Arabia put up against the eventual winners, Argentina. Yes, I believe there wasn't the need, but because football has evolved over the years, and every country now has seen the need to be very competitive. The little money that FIFA distributes around the world, if you're a footballing country and you want to make that jump from where you are to be a recognizable country when it comes to football, you have to ensure that the money goes into the development of what? Talent. And that is what most of these countries have done. If you look at here in Africa, look at the countries that have qualified for the first time. Is it Cape Verde? Cape Verde is going to be at the World Cup. They've never been there before. But you'll be the first to admit that in the last 2-3 AFCONs where they've showed up as a country, they've given most of the big guys proper run for their money. And they've not just been there and be brushed aside by anybody at all. So am I surprised they are there? No, I am not, because of recent events that has taken place in the AFCON here. My only problem is that they will go into the tournament not having the requisite experience to be able to what? Show how true a footballing nation they are. But there's always the first time. When the Black Stars had never been there, and when we showed up in 2006, we were put in a very difficult group. I believe the most competitive group of the tournament. And again, the eventual winners came from our group. That is what most people have not seen. In our last four editions, 2 of our groups produced the eventual winners. In 2006, Italy won. We're in the same group with Italy. In 2014, Germany won. We're in the same group with the Black Stars of Ghana. So the point I'm making is that what is the guarantee that most of the new guys or the new countries who have qualified will put up the performances of the Black Stars in 2006 or of Saudi Arabia in 2022? It is because of that I want to believe that there wasn't any, but there's still the benefit of the doubt, because FIFA paired the way they want football to go. It's like football is a gospel. FIFA want the gospel of football to be spread all over throughout the world, and they want to give everybody the opportunity to experience the euphoria, the excitement, the competitive nature of what football stands for. And I've always said that during my coaching days in the US, when the definition of what football was all about was given to some of us, we were told that integral to the definition of football is the fact that football is very unpredictable. So I think the coming in of these new guys will get football to tell its own story. When Saudi beat Argentina, that was football telling its own story. When the Black Stars from Norway in 2006 defeated the then ranked 5th team in the world, the then ranked 2nd place team in the world, that was football telling its own story. So you may want to say that, look, let's keep it within the confinement of what football is all about. But hey, from that definition, from that unpredictability of football, it is better you widen the scope. And once you widen the scope, somebody will come in there and give football the chance of telling its own story. So look, diluted, yes, but because of the involvement of the game, you want to give FIFA the benefit of the doubt, and let's hope and pray that there will be no easy games at the World Cup. I don't want to see any easy game at the World Cup. Every game should come out matching up to the standard, the intensity, the competitive nature of what the game has represented. Because Edwin, believe you me, if you follow football, let me say, I would say, as a kid, I started watching proper football from the 1986 World Cup that was held in, I think, Mexico. Yes, 1986, that was held in Mexico. That was where, very, very young, I could sit by the television and watch football all day. That was the first tournament for which I saw Diego Armando Maradona. And every World Cup tournament has gotten better in terms of technique, in terms of how the game is played, in terms of intensity, in terms of quality. Those days, as a young boy, I could see that the 4 words that virtually describes how the game is played, which is observation, decision making, receiving of the ball in action. In those days, these players will receive the ball first, observe the situation, take a decision, and then they act. It was receiving, observation, decision made, then action. But as we have grown over the years, as we speak today, before you receive the ball, your observation and decision should have been made, because there's no time to observe, decide before you act. So this World Cup had shown over the years, even in the EPL, in all the leagues in the world now, it's clear that if you're a footballer and you find yourself on that pitch, your observation and decision should have been made before the ball even come to you. And once the ball come to you, your action is more or less a simultaneous, sort of a spontaneous response to whatever need to follow. Because you look at players like Messi, Ronaldo, the best players in the world, they are always scanning. And when Messi is scanning, that is where he's observing, and he's already decided, when the ball comes to me, I'm going this way. So if we can have most of the players of these countries go to the World Cup in June, July, showcase that basic principle of observing, decision made before receiving the ball, and the action should just follow through, then it means we are going to be in for a very, very keenly contested, very competitive World Cup. I don't want anybody or any country to win the World Cup without going through the spine of the tournament. You need to be able to compete with the best to be able to be termed that this is the world champions. Argentina did it. Germany did it. Who won it in Russia? France did it. Okay, every winner, in my view, since 1986, that was when I started watching the World Cup, has been a deserving winner. Argentina in 1986, brilliant. In 1990, the Germans, brilliant. 1994, the Brazilian, brilliant. 1998, the French team, brilliant. 2002, that Brazilian team, brilliant. 2006, Italy, brilliant. 2010, that Spanish team, brilliant. Okay, so 2014, the German team, brilliant. 2018, France, brilliant. So you have to go through, and this is what I believe. This America, Canada, and Mexico World Cup will present to the world to the rest of the world.
Okay, so I'll come to Yao and Manuel for their thoughts on this, but we have to update our listeners that we are live from our studios here in Accra, but we're also live from the Kennedy Center in Washington DC, where the draw is taking place. We've seen a couple of musical interludes and performances. We'll update our listeners in case anything interesting happens, but we mentioned that coach says that it may have been diluted, but it gives an opportunity for a lot of more African countries, a lot more Asian countries, some of the minnows to compete in this tournament. I like your thoughts on this, because even though the football might be diluted, you see a lot more minnows being blown away, easy scorelines, huge scorelines. But we are seeing a lot more countries get an opportunity that they might not have got before. We are seeing a lot more fans being introduced to football. I want your general thoughts on the 48th tournament.
Yeah, I think it should have been kept at 32. I think it should have been kept at 32. And the only reason why it is being moved over to 48 is because of monetary reasons, money reasons. You bring in 48 slots. That means that you open up the opportunity for other countries to also get roped into the pool, especially the countries with the biggest or the highest population in the world. And unfortunately, both countries aren't that good when it comes to football. That's China and India. And those markets are huge when it comes to tournaments like this. And so I understand the reasoning behind it. And honestly, I have this theory that is the expansion was made to compensate for past sins, because there were so many years that African countries and Asian countries were denied the chance to play in this competition because the slots were just one or two, at most two. And to be able to compensate for that, it had to be expanded beyond the five that was allocated to Africa, for instance. And I honestly believe that to be able to have solved that issue without necessarily expanding it and diluting the quality somewhat in terms of the competition, Europe's slots should have been cut. Europe's slots should have been cut and reduced to, let's say, 8. And then the remaining slots that Europe occupied should have been spread around. That's what I honestly believe. To be able to maintain the 32 teams. Even with the 32 teams, we saw how some countries qualified, and they weren't able to really compete. And so we are likely to see the same thing happen when it comes to this tournament moving forward, now that it has been increased to 48. But beyond the little historical issues that I've pointed out, there are multiple reasons or multiple decisions that went into this particular format change. And it's quite compelling looking at the arguments that lie behind those reasons. Mainly it's about the money. Once you open it up, you are bringing more sponsors on board. The sponsors who are already on board, you are likely to get more money from them if you are FIFA, because at the end of the day, you pitch to them that, okay, this time around it's not just 32 nations that are competing or 32 markets that you're advertising to. You're advertising to 12 more, and in that sense you bring in more money to the pool. And there's also the bit about bringing in that good feel, like having a country like Curacao qualified to the World Cup for the first time. Cape Verde qualified to the World Cup for the first time. It brings about a good feeling, and it makes it look and feel like football isn't necessarily an alien sport, and that it embraces everyone. And that is a good marketing move, because other sports disciplines suffer from that bit where it feels a bit alien to a lot of people. But with football, you can tell that it cuts across pretty much every background, social, economic background, continental background. It has that bit of togetherness, unlike the other sports discipline. And so, there is a strong argument to be made for the reasons behind it. And yeah, I understand why they did it, but honestly, I would have preferred the slots be maintained at 32 teams to ensure that the quality is still upheld for a very long time before there's a discussion about potentially expanding it. But it is now here, the decision has already been made, and so it's all down to the teams to prepare very well, to recruit very well, and to be able to deliver top level impressive performances for us to be able to enjoy the competition as well.
Wonderful. Manuel, let me bring you in here. 8 different teams have won the World Cup in the history of the tournament. Still on this discussion about diluting of the tournament, are we closer to getting a new winner of the World Cup? Argentina won it last time, but they'd already won it before. Are we closer to getting a new winner of the World Cup, given the number of teams that have been allowed to enter?
Manuel comes in,
yes.
There's also this bit about why I wanted the 32 nations maintained, because this time around, with what FIFA has done with regard to nationality switches and all, it has enabled countries to be able to recruit some of the best players in other continents based on their heritage to come and play for them. So there's no situation these days where you have all the talent being concentrated in one continent or just 2 continents. This time around, the talent is spread all over because globalization has taken place. People are moving all over the place. And so you have a situation where players are being raised through the systems of other accomplished nations to be able to play to that level. And they are representing countries that otherwise do not have those kind of infrastructure.
Before I come back to Manuel, we are seeing on our screens Donald Trump, who is the US president, being awarded the inaugural Peace Prize, which was created to honor individuals whose efforts champion unity and goodwill.
I don't mean sound cynical, but was created to honor him. Whatever.
Yeah, because what he read, it doesn't fit with his profile.
Oh,
I disagree.
No, Peace Prize.
This year in particular,
he's a man of peace. You see what he's a man of peace.
He's not a man of peace.
Look, take it. I mean, he's coming in as president of the United States.
First of all, beautiful trophy.
Of course,
just to point out, this is a year of sycophancy from Infantino's part, from giving him the Club World Cup to the World Cup trophy with him. I think he weren't really smart with this trophy, because this looks like something that could be at least a World Cup, that. Because Trump kept asking for the World Cup trophy, whether he could keep the World Cup trophy. So I think giving him an award, giving him an award like this,
but look, in my view, I think he's rather brought stability to the world since he became president. Because look, we cannot live in the world where anybody at all can misbehave. There must be some level of decency and discipline in the way you handle your own people. Since he took charge as being president of the United States of America, things that could have escalated have all been tamed. Mm-hmm. And look, the Bible itself speaks about leadership. We cannot live in the world not having the leader. I believe that whoever is the president of America is the leader of the world, because they are that powerful. And once the American president stands his ground, there is bound to be freedom and justice for all. Okay, so I don't think that this given to him is just something by the wayside.
Coach, I agree with you, I
think they are just playing to his ego.
Oh, they are playing to his ego. I mean, no.
I mean, Peace Prize.
Coach, the fact about it is, I get everything you are saying is true, but FIFA has nothing to do with any of that.
No, but
I understand what you are saying, but FIFA in terms of football, they've held a lot of World Cups. They've held World Cups in other countries. They've never seen the need to gratify the president.
It is America
gratification, and that's my point. Since last year, they built an office at Trump Towers. FIFA built an office at Trump Towers. They've been doing systematic things.
Do you know that it is an honor? Time. It is an honor for FIFA to go and build an office at Trump.
Let me give you the statement FIFA released before
Yes, go ahead.
About this. So it will be awarded to someone who has taken exceptional and extraordinary actions for peace and united people across the world.
That's
in an
it.
increasingly unsettled and divided world,
That's it.
It is fundamental to recognize the outstanding contribution of those who work hard to end conflicts and bring people together in a spirit of
That's
peace.
what he's done.
That was the statement FIFA
He
released.
himself is divisive. How can he be bringing people
No, but the
together?
thing is, at least
example
at
of-
least politically, we're not trying to delve into politics, but at least politically, the war in Ukraine and at least the war in Gaza, he took without his influence on
He's
those
turned
wars,
those.
they do not come to an end.
That's
So in
what-
this year
Look,
in particular,
he
I'm not here
will-
to criticize him.
Not only
I
him,
was
But
going
the
to
but the but
politics.
the
This is
but
not
the
political
It's not
but
political.
the
Yeah,
but the award being given to him is just gratification for the fact that you are letting us play a World Cup in your country and we want special favor. That is
no.
it doesn't go
This
beyond
award,
that. Was created
Look.
a month ago.
no, but you see.
It didn't exist a month ago.
Cool.
So let's say
The
there's
arg-
always
the argument
there's
is-
always the first time of anything.
Yes,
So
please.
would you say that the first time an award was created was to do what you are saying to somebody?
In 2021, when they gave Lewandowski the best striker award, it was because they didn't give him the Ballon d'Or the next year.
No.
There are times where systematically you try and take advantage
So
of it.
I will only
The
accept
argument
what
is,
you are saying.
the argument is why award the first of its kind, an award like this, the first of its kind, to someone who basically didn't care about football until the US were awarded
So
the World
that
Cup,
is-
and he became president.
and
Why
he-
not award somebody who embodies the
Did you hear what he said about Somalis in America?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear what he said about
the
Somalis in
togetherness
America?
of football.
How can you
who
say
actually
you're giving this
has
guy a
been
peace
in
award?
football and has
Jeez.
worked in football for
No, you see,
a long time?
You see, if somebody has no interest in the sports, and all of a sudden, his interest is such that under his regime, the biggest ever World Cup is being honored or is being hosted, and the amount of money he's committed to getting this tournament hosted in that manner. Isn't it a genuine reason why you
But
should
the
appreciate-
argument is that that amount of money would have been made available regardless,
Anyway.
because
Look,
the United States were awarded.
Are you aware?
the
Are you
hosting
aware
rights.
that? Are you aware that in the U.S. as we speak today, some American citizens are protesting on the amount of money being used to host this World Cup?
Yeah.
So it's about the man influence. It's about the man going to Congress and getting Congress to approve.
But
What
that,
does
that's
this
the case. The Moroccan king should also be awarded.
What-
a peace.
but what does
And
this
because
have to do
somebody
with
awarded a
it?
lot of funds to build stadiums for the World Cup,
So-
and people are even protesting in Morocco.
So-
Last month, people were protested in Morocco.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this award
Yeah.
should not be going to
Yeah.
Donald Trump. It
Yeah.
is just going to him to please his ego. That's all.
The award didn't exist in the
Yeah.
first place, and that's why I just want to make the correction from last year's
Peace
club
award.
World
I'm
Cup.
saying that-
From him coming to the podium to
no, but
lift
you
the trophy
cannot-
with Chelsea, there have been so
You let
many
people
things
know.
have been
You
done.
Go to politics.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I went back to the Club World
You've
Cup.
got problems with why
I don't have a problem
the
with
man
him.
has been given the
I
award.
don't have a problem. No, I have a
I'm
problem
saying
with
that-
the award. The award was created because they wanted to find a
Every
way to
award is
gratify.
created.
Oh, it's not about my. I
Every
understand that.
award at the first time is created.
It is created.
So let's say that maybe it's a coincidence that this is the
It's
first
not
time.
a and that's the point I'm making. It's not a coincidence that just before a World Cup that's going to be held in America, a year after the Club World Cup, where he was
And it's not
given
just
a
going to be held
platform.
in just America. It's going to be held in the US, Canada, and Mexico.
You should hear how he was
You
talking
see,
about it.
those
He
two,
said
you see those two countries.
You see,
he was
Those
saying
two
that.
countries.
That's
You
placating to his
see,
ego.
now listen, it is not that. You don't rank a Canadian president and a Mexico president as an American
They
president.
could have all received the Peace Prize.
No.
You could have given the three of them the
Why
Peace
you are
Prize.
only just
Do
one
you
person?
think? Do you think, like you rightly said, the Mexico president can impact on the Ukraine war and those things happening in the Gaza? In Gaza?
I think we are
None of them.
venturing-
No,
we
no,
are
no.
venturing into
Let me just make.
political
None of them
territory.
could have gone there to solve that thing. True or false?
Fair.
So what are you saying? So what are you saying?
Okay, a lot of political talk there. Let's get back to the football. So you can join the conversation on
Yeah.
YouTube. Join our streams and put in your comments, and I'll be sure to read them. I'll get to them in a bit.
Just if I can, just to get back to the point that I was making, on the Club World Cup from last year, I think you also noted a point where, as much as there was an expansion, so it was the same as what was formerly known as the Club World Cup, where it was just like a semi-final and a final. It was just 4 teams, and then they expanded the tournament to include, to where it was a 24-team tournament. And I think what you're going to realize is the same thing that happened in the Club World Cup, where initially you see a lot of the small teams having some good games. It looks like they're going to, by the end of the day, once you get to the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the final, the quality almost comes up to the surface now. So then it becomes a a point where you see the bigger teams in the end, because of quality and because they're able to outlast throughout the games and the matches throughout the tournament as a whole. Unless one of the small teams, like let's say Greece from 2004, they have an unbelievable run, and they're about to carry it on until the end of the tournament. At the end of the day, I think you see the teams that are usually at the end of the tournament, at the end part of the tournament, being competitive. Just on the team that haven't won it, I mean, just for script narrative, I think it would be incredible if Portugal were able to win the World Cup. Just
you are daydreaming.
Well, I'm not a Ronaldo fan.
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I said you are daydreaming.
I'm daydreaming slightly, yes, because like at least narrative wise, I think that
they don't know how to win it. They don't know how to win the World Cup.
They have.
You see, of all the winners of the World Cup, none of how many? I think the list has won it twice.
Yes. But in the last 10 years, at least Portugal have won 2 Nations League trophies and the Euros. I'm just saying they have learned how. They had never won a trophy before 2016,
and I'm saying,
and now they won 3 trophies.
Yeah, we are talking about the World Cup. They don't know how to win the World Cup.
Actually, England and Spain have
won it once. Once. So, and the quality that this Portuguese, you see, don't get me wrong, they have a very, very good team.
Incredible team.
But I don't see why they should still be depending on a 40-year-old man to drive them through.
I don't think they're dependent on him, but I think because of his influence on the team, they can't work without him.
Just his ego.
They are still dependent. They are still depending on him. He scored the most goals in qualifiers for them. True or false? Whatever they do is still being revolved around him. The man is not playing in the EPL now. He's not playing in the Spanish La Liga. He's playing where retired players go to play their football. Don't get me.
Christopher Bonsuba is there, so I don't.
That's why he should be part of the team. That's why
I'm just saying, it's not only retired players; there are upcoming prospective players who are also
they
playing in Saudi Arabia.
When the Aston Villa striker were bought, I sat here and I told you, this boy, he's finished.
I mean, he's in Turkey
now. What is he doing in Turkey?
He scored recently. He scored a really good goal, I think, against
Galatasaray. That's what he's doing. He's moved from the Saudi league.
He didn't see that. That's what I'm saying. That there he's finished. So he's moved away. So the point I'm making is that, don't get me wrong, Portugal has a very, very good team. But I don't think they've got a team to win the World Cup.
Especially with Roberto Martinez as their coach.
They would not win it.
Okay, staying on that point, let me bring the listeners the various teams in the various sports so that we add to the conversation and see which teams might break the duck and win it for the first time after these 8 nations. So in pot 1, we have Canada, we have Mexico and USA, who are obviously the hosts of the tournament. We have Spain, Argentina, the defending champions. We have France won in 2018. We have England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. In pot 2, we have Croatia, Morocco, Colombia, Uruguay, Switzerland, Japan, Senegal, Iran, Korea, Ecuador, Austria, Australia. And in pot 3, we have Norway, Panama, Egypt, Algeria, Scotland, Paraguay, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, Uzbekistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa. And of course, in pot 4, we have Jordan, Cape Verde, Ghana, Curacao, Haiti, New Zealand, the playoff winners of UEFA A, UEFA B, UEFA C, and UEFA D. Of course, 4 teams from the UEFA playoffs are going to join the teams already in the World Cup. And we have the FIFA Intercontinental playoffs, the 2 teams that will qualify as well. They also make it into pot 4. Now, let's zone into the Black Stars. We have to talk about the Black Stars.
Yeah.
In recent World Cups, they've had difficult groups because obviously they've been seeded really poorly ahead of the draws in these tournaments. This time too, they've been seeded in pot 4, which means they'll face higher seeded teams than them in pot pot 1, 2, and 3. So I've just mentioned the teams in the various spots. I want you to tell me, who do you think the Black Stars would want to face, and who do you think they wouldn't want to? And I want you to go through each spot if you have the list.
I don't have the list, but
we'll get you the list.
So,
but
To be honest with you, I don't want the Black Stars. I'm talking about Pot 1.
Yes, Pot 1.
I don't want the Black Stars to face any of the host nations. I don't want them to face any of the host nation in Pot 1. Because I think that in major tournament like this, almost everything is done practically possible to ensure that the host nation will at least progress beyond the group stages. And here is the situation where we've got 3 host nations. I don't want the Black Stars to face Mexico. I don't want them to face Canada. I don't want them to face what? The USA. So if I subtract those 3 from the rest of the teams in pot 1, it then means that they are left with Germany, France, England, Germany, France, England, Spain, mention the rest. Germany, France, Argentina, Brazil,
England, Netherlands, Belgium.
Is Brazil also in that pot?
Yes, Brazil is in that pot.
Look, preferably, I want us to face England. Preferably, if you look at the rest of the teams there, I think if we were to face the English, because of the fact that we know them, technically, I believe they will not pose too much of a problem than the Spanish will, than the Germans, than the French, than the Brazilians, than the Argentines, and the Belgians. Look, so preferably, I want us to face England. If we can get an England draw, if we can get an England draw, I think it will be massive. So that is my pick. I don't want them to face any of the 3 host nations. I also don't want them to face Spain. Look, if the Black Stars were to be paired against a country like Spain, that would be a day of torture, a day of pain, a day where we would watch this game and would be so uncomfortable throughout. I don't want that. I believe from the way the English go about their football, on our day we can match up to them. If only if the coaching will be good on the day, I think we can match up to the English team. When you go to pot 2, where you have the likes of Croatia, Morocco, Colombia, Uruguay, Switzerland, Japan, Senegal, Iran, South Korea, Ecuador, Austria, and Australia. I don't know whether at this stage you are permitted to meet an African team. If we are permitted to make an African team, we are not.
Yes.
Good. So therefore, if you look at pot 2, there's Croatia.
So while you think about it, update. So FIFA President Gianni Infantino is on stage, along with the leaders of the 3 nations that are hosting the World Cup.
This is beautiful, isn't it?
They will be the draw assistants for tonight's draw for the World Cup. So
big.
Just an update there. We seem to be almost ready for the draw.
Football is big.
Yes.
So like I'm saying, if you look at pot 2, there's Croatia, there's Colombia, there's Uruguay, there's Switzerland, there's Japan, there's Senegal, there's South Korea, there's Ecuador, there's Austria, there's Australia. Look, I think I don't want, obviously we'll not play Morocco, we'll not play Senegal. Yes. The only country I want to avoid here will be Croatia and the South Americans, Colombia. I don't want to meet them. Apart from these 2 countries.
I mean, just on that, won't you want to avoid Japan, given how we play against them in
we can match them if we show if our entire team were to be on their game and we know
even
them.
After what you saw in the Caribbean Cup,
we know them. We are used to them. We've played them several times. We know what to do to beat them. I think we can match them. We can match South Korea, Australia. We can match. They are more of a physical team, but technically, I think on our day we should be able to match them. This Austrian team being coached by the former Manchester United. Now what is the name of the German? Ralf Rangnick.
Yes.
They are a workaholic. They are a very, very difficult team. So if I can avoid the South America, maybe the only South American I want to accept there is Uruguay.
Yes, I wanted to make that point.
Yes, maybe I'll accept them because look, we've got a long-standing beef with them. It would be nice to go and settle that thing once and for all in our favor.
I want to get your thoughts on Iran. Iran have been growing in terms of reputation in the last few years.
They are a dangerous team.
Very, very good side.
They are a very dangerous
ranked,
team.
I think 22nd in
I've
the
watched them in
currently.
recent time. They are a very, very dangerous team. You don't want to play them. You don't want to play them. So I will avoid Colombia. I will avoid Croatia. I will yes, I think apart from them, we are thinking. Then I will avoid Ecuador. The rest, Ecuador, that's where the Chelsea boy comes from, isn't it?
Yes. No, which one?
Caicedo,
yes.
Yeah, I will avoid them, and then I will meet any of the rest. Now, when you come to pot 3, in pot 3, Norway, Panama, Scotland, Paraguay, Uzbekistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, South Africa. So there it looks like our work is to some extent cut out, because at the end of the day, what you don't want to have here is the fact that there are a lot of African teams here, because there's Egypt, there's Algeria, there's Tunisia, there's Cote d'Ivoire, and there's South Africa, and we are not to meet any of them. So here our work is cut out. Is that it's likely to be Norway. Do I want Norway? I don't think I want to play Norway. I don't want them. Erling Haaland and Odegaard. They are look at what the way they handle Italy. Even in Rome, look at how they dealt with the Italians. I don't want to play them. So there, maybe a Panama. We should be able to handle Panama and beat them. And then Qatar, we should be able to beat Qatar. If Uzbekistan, look, I think we may get a very good favorable draw from pot 3 if we can avoid Norway and the fact that we are not meeting any of the African teams there. Any other team that presents itself, the Black Stars should be able to handle them. So I'm hoping for a draw where we play England.
So an update before you go on, the draw has begun, so we'll bring you updates on which team is in Group A. Actually, let's go
through it.
First country drawn is Canada, who obviously one of the hosts. They will be placed in Group D.
Is that the Canadian president?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the Canadian
Prime Minister.
President.
He picks his own country.
Well, the balls for the three host nations
are
differently
defined.
colored, so you can definitely tell.
Are defined.
Yeah, so Canada in Group B actually.
Then maybe she will pick Mexico as well. Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Mexico
she's picked
also
Mexico.
co-host for the tournament. Also picked. We'll see which group they are in after
Looks like
this.
Group J.
Mexico will be in Group A, I believe.
I think Group J.
No, Mexico will be in Group A. Yes, and then the United States, I see, will be in Group D. So they will be the third country picked, and Trump is
struggling a bit to open the ball, but it's okay. Yes.
Okay, so we definitely know which groups our host nations will be in. Canada already put in Group B, Mexico in Group A, and the United States of America just picked by Donald Trump in Group D. So we have three of our nations so far. And Yao and Manuel, you jump in here. I want to know your thoughts on who the Black Stars would want to avoid in each of the pots.
Want to avoid? I mean, with pot 1, pretty much avoid all.
And we'll come back to the draw as and when more teams are picked.
Yeah, I mean, with the pot 1, you look at all the best ranked nations in the world. Yeah, Ghana would want to avoid all of them, with the exception of Canada. And with the exception of Canada, because Mexico are a very tough team, particularly playing at home. I'm pretty sure they will be playing in an altitude weather, and so that also would give them a little bit of an edge. Then there's the United States of America. The United States of America, we have a long-standing rivalry with them, and in the lead up to this draw, American football legends or soccer legends, that's Alexi Lalas and Landon Donovan, they were having a discussion about the permutations about this draw, and all of them were calling for Ghana to be drawn in the USA's group, because Alexi Lalas stated that this is not a very good Ghana team, and so he wants the USA to be drawn in the same group with Ghana. And for Landon Donovan, it was all about revenge, because he played in that 2010 World Cup. He scored in that game that we beat
From
the
the penalty
United
spot,
States.
yes.
I thought they got their revenge in 2014.
In the round of 16.
Yes, in the group stage.
Personally,
I understand.
So in the round of 16, then it was a draw. Then later, Samoa scored in extra time to give us that win that qualified Ghana to the quarterfinals. And so, I would avoid all those countries. So for me, Canada, the country that Ghana would want or would love to play against, I think it will be Canada.
Okay.
Yes. Then in Port 2, ideally, I would have gone in for Iran. But I look at Port 3. There are other Asian confederations nations in there that are quite beatable.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so for Port 2, I'll go in for Australia.
So let me bring this clarification. The African teams cannot be drawn in the same group.
Yes.
Any team
It's
from
just
the same
Europe.
confederation.
It's just Europe.
Just Europe, and they can't have more than 2 European countries in the
one
same
group.
group.
Yes.
We are
So
just
so for
establishing
me,
that.
so for Port 1, it will have to be Canada.
Okay.
Port 2, it will have to be Australia. I would have gone in for Iran, but Port 2, I'll go in for Australia because in Port 3, I'm going in for Qatar or Uzbekistan or Panama. Yes, I'm going in for Panama, Uzbekistan are in Asia.
Yeah.
And you can't have 2 Asian countries in the same group. Qatar are also in Asia. You can't have 2 Asian countries in the same group.
Yeah.
So if I take Iran from Port 2, I can't bring in Qatar or Uzbekistan.
from Port 3,
So for Port 2, I'll go in for Australia. Then for Port 3, I'll go in for Qatar.
Okay.
Then Port 4, I'll go in for Ghana. So for me, Canada, Australia, Qatar, then Ghana.
The ideal
very,
draw
very,
for the
very
Black
workable
Stars of
group.
Ghana.
Yeah, very workable.
Mano, I want your
Or
thoughts. on this.
Panama, Qatar.
Yeah, I mean,
What would your ideal group for the Black Stars be?
ideal group for the Black Stars.
Yeah.
I think Yao has clearly laid it out, because I think
who should the Black Stars?
Qatar for
Who should the Black Stars
Uzbekistan,
absolutely
Panama.
avoid? Who do you think they should absolutely avoid in those spots?
I mean, Port 1, I think we're hoping for host country. That's as simple as it gets. I think we have a better chance against Belgium. I think we have a better chance against Belgium compared to England.
It
Coach
is
will
likely
say.
that if we were to play against any of the host nations, that would be our very first game of the tournament, and that could be dangerous. That's why I'm saying that for me, I don't want us to play against
I think
any
playing
of the
against a
host
home nation, you are playing against a very motivated
Yeah, man.
crowd, especially with a lot of home support, especially in a big tournament like this. So
I believe the opening match will be played in Monterrey, Mexico. So
Yeah.
there's a chance Mexico will be in the opening game, and they are.
and even Canada are not as they're like Jonathan David, Alfonso. Like they have
a good team.
They have a good team. This is not. They are just compared to the rest of the teams in Port 1. Maybe because they wouldn't naturally be in Port 1. I think that's why we're finding it a bit easier. I think another quirk of the draw is you could have a point where Italy, Sweden, Turkey, and Denmark are in Port 4, and that's just mainly because they came through the playoff. But these are teams that are good enough to not be in Port, so it can create a few more interesting groups. But in terms of Ghana, I think maybe Belgium, Australia. So Belgium, Australia, Panama, then Ghana, then. Because I think even if you win a group, based on the quality of some of the other teams, like I said, because of how the Port 4 system is a little skewed, it might mean that even if you win your group, you might still come up against a tough second opponent who finished second. So I think we need to just get out of the group, and then once you get out of the group, we realize that it can be anyone and it can be everyone. So we just need to prepare for that.
Okay, so I want to talk about how Ghana got into this situation.
Yeah.
The poor performances from the national team, poor performances in competitive games, in friendly games, and I believe the local Black Stars also contributes to the rankings. Why did we end up in this position? And
you failed to qualify to the AFCON. So it all adds up. It's accumulative.
yes,
It accumulates over a period
Yeah.
of time. And so if in a specific year you didn't win any of your qualifiers, it adds up. And so yes, you didn't win any of your qualifiers in the AFCON, but you did well in the World Cup. It will definitely take out some gains that you made in the World Cup qualifiers. And so you wouldn't be able to necessarily move up as high as you would on a regular, on a normal basis, because before you started winning and not losing those World Cup qualifiers, you had lost and drawn so many games in the AFCON qualifiers. So it's accumulative. And that's how come we kept dropping till we ended up in 72nd, and now we get drawn up in or seeded in pot 4. So
I think that's a good point. I think you also need to counter for the teams that qualify for both the AFCON and the World Cup. So while we may have slipped up a bit, you have teams that have at least shown more consistency in form throughout the year. So a team like Iran, who probably maybe a few years ago were probably ranked higher than them, just by having consistent form over a long period of time, as opposed to being inconsistent and then maybe showing up for one qualification campaign and then not showing up for the next. It can affect your performance in terms of these rankings. I like I said, the World Cup is a big opportunity. If you go and you perform quite well against these other teams, I think that can help us. Obviously, it would help if we could have that before the port system or before the ranking system, before we're then given a group. But like I keep saying, like once you get out to the group, it's anyone.
Especially in this World Cup where the top seeded teams, especially the nations in pot 1, the way they've set up the format and structured the draw is to ensure that you don't have too many big weights or heavyweights clashing or facing off in the earlier rounds.
So we may begin to see that from the quarterfinals, semifinals.
Yes.
Stage.
So the way it is structured, if let's say Ghana ends up in the same group with England or Brazil, and we end up topping that group, there is a possibility that we could end up going till the quarterfinals before we end up meeting another top level opposition once we get out of the group, and that obviously boosts your chances of being able to have a deep run in the tournament. And so the way it is set up, look, that's why I've said even before this draw came up, that the way it is set up with the numbers increase, it means that things can easily break your way.
You see,
where you can have a good run in the a deep run in the tournament and be able to excel, where Ghana could end up potentially making it to the semi-finals.
You see, you asked the question, what was the reason for we finding ourselves where we are? Look, if this tournament was not being hosted by 3 countries, I believe some of our African brothers would have been in pot 1, like Morocco, definitely, and then to some extent maybe Senegal. They could have been in pot 1 per their ranking. But having said that, the Black Stars of Ghana is like we've gotten to the level where everything goes. People are not being held responsible
To a high standard.
to a very high standard. Look, why is it that you've got people justifying why we didn't qualify for the AFCON? Look at the teams that virtually prevented us from qualifying to the AFCON. Angola, Niger, Sudan. These 3 teams, we played against them and we couldn't win even one single game. But nobody paid the price for that. Going forward, what we have now done,
Okay, Lama.
I mean, Lauman, yeah, I was about to. That was what I was thinking.
Lama didn't pay the price for our the fact that we couldn't qualify.
He lost his job at the point where we weren't able to qualify.
And I'm saying
He was the
you
scapegoat.
cannot use him as the one. But how do you sack the assistant and leave the head?
The head coach.
When the fish is going bad, it starts from the head. So the point I'm making is that based on what we have done, if the next Black Stars coach fails to qualify to the AFCON, do we have the moral right to sack him? Do we? We don't.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So anything, everything at all.
But context changes. So.
No, you see,
He failed to win an AFCON
Yeah,
qualifying
but the
game.
next AFCON is 2027.
uh-huh.
And so what that means is, I mean, do we also want a situation where
We could have better standards by then.
No, but
It's
you
not-
see,
yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Not
Yeah,
with
we
the
have
current-
better standards by then. So yeah,
you see, not with the current FA,
context
not
matters.
with the current FA, not with them, because they may not have any moral right. You see, as Ghanaians, we've got our standard. That's why majority of Ghanaians, including some of the Black Stars players, called for the sacking of the coach when we didn't qualify for the AFCON. But you see, this is the price you pay. this is what you get. You will get in return when anything at all is acceptable. And for me, we should look at this and we should say never again. That's what I've always told myself, that the fact that we didn't qualify, we couldn't qualify for the AFCON is unforgiven. I will never forgive anybody who was responsible for the Black Stars not qualifying to the AFCON in Morocco. We sit here today. What is today's day? On the 5th.
Today is 5th December.
That tournament starts in 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, 21st,
22nd, thereabout. It starts. You understand? It starts. And I think it's a tournament that we could have used. For example, if we had qualified for that tournament, definitely, if you look at the manner in which we qualify for the World Cup, we will not be put in pot 4.
No.
We will not be put in pot 4. We'll be in pot 3 and we'll be hoping to get one of the easy ranked teams in top 4 to beat them and brighten our chances of qualifying out of the group. You understand? So that is where we are, and that is what our people has come to accept. The people at the FA, that any form of mediocrity can be massaged and give the person another chance to go and make amends. You think you've qualified to the World Cup, but when we've gotten our government set aside $13.67 million as the budget most likely to be spent at the World Cup, we are just not going there to go and add to the numbers. We want to go there and be very competitive. We've made our life extremely difficult by being put in pot 4. If we're to be in pot 3 or pot 2, it lessens our difficulty. So we'll go there. A decision that could have been taken, or that should have been taken to, even the very first appointment was problematic. That's why we find ourselves where we are today. We can't, look, all of us seated here are hoping and praying. But imagine if the Black Stars were in pot 2. We will come here very relaxed. Bring us as Uzbekistan and co, and then
Curaçao.
those people, Curaçao, man, can be, we discipline them. No, we go away. Haiti, man, can I'm a little they don't know how to play football. But look at the teams in which we find ourselves with. Look at the Haiti, man, can look at that, Jordan and co. But it is what it is. So you see, the draw has started. Everything is ongoing, and we look and see what happens.
We're live from our studios in Adabraka, in Accra. As I said, we're also live from the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., where the FIFA World Cup Group Stage Draw is currently ongoing. We know where 3 teams stand. We'll find out where the others are as well. 48 teams. Live coverage on Channel 1 TV. So we are crossing over
Focus, relax, ride the vibe, and be Rio. Easy. Lickety split, nothing to it, man.
But, listen, I can't relax. I'm in my head. I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Don't overthink it, brother. Vibe at the moment. It's gonna be alright. Guaranteed.
Okay, listen, that did help, and thank you.
Anytime, man. Trust the process, just keep living, and I will see you there.
Wait, do you know the draw protocol?
Hola, Rio.
What?
Rio, hello.
Wait, how did you do that? Are you?
Salma Hayek Pinot, acclaimed actress and newly appointed FIFA ambassador. Yes. Surprise?
This is incredible. Congratulations.
Yes, I'm incredible. Thank you.
Salma, I need your advice. I'm a little nervous about conducting the draw.
Oh, Rio, my advice is to have fun out there. You know, enjoy it. Feel the moment. But if you get stuck, I wrote a joke for you to warm up the crowd. Why don't football players get hot? Because of all the fans.
Listen, that's great, and thank you, Salma. But listen, I am still worried about the technical side.
The complicated stuff, huh? Well, if you want some help with the rules, I cannot help you with that because I'm very bad at following rules. But I know some brilliant people who can help you with it.
Who?
Experts, like the best, like real experts.
How will I?
I will have them reach out to you, okay?
Well, when?
Oh, trust me, Rio, you will be amazing.
Time to meet your draw conductor. An England legend and one of the finest defenders of his generation, who was a European champion and a 6-time English Premier League winner with Manchester United. He played at 2 World Cups and made 81 appearances for his country. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for Rio Ferdinand.
How you doing? How you doing, guys?
Hello.
See you again. How you doing?
Delighted
Lovely
to have
see you.
Hello.
Thank you.
How about that call from Matthew McConaughey and Salma Hayek, you know, to get you ready?
Well, it just shows you how big this is, man. Taking charge of the World Cup draw, it's not a small thing. But you know what? I've got to say, guys, I've been listening backstage, and with your permission, Mr. President, we've got to stop calling it soccer. I'm sorry. We've got to go. Where I'm from is football, and most of the people in this building right now, we call it football. So, if that's okay, we're going to continue like that, yeah?
No.
Fine with
Yeah,
me.
of course. Whatever you want. I'm in line. You know, whatever you need from me, I'm here to do it. You're in charge. I don't want you to worry about a thing. We've got your back. And we've built you a team. Okay? And I'm going to introduce this team. She is one of the most respected broadcasters in the business, and she'll make sure that today everything else goes smoothly. I promise you when I say that. Please welcome draw co-conductor, Samantha Johnson.
Hello. Hi. Great start to the show. My God, so happy to be here. So honored to be here. Wow.
So, Sam, Rio, right now, are you guys happy? Is it safe to say you're happy?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. The only thing, I don't know who Salma was talking about, do you?
Well, you mean the real experts on all of the draw rules? Sure, as Salma told us where you need to go.
Welcome to Draw Conductor Bootcamp. You're conducting the final draw, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Have you ever conducted a draw before?
Well, no, but...
Then you need training. Let's go. First question. How many teams are in this World Cup?
32.
Maybe back in your day. It's 48 now.
Right, okay, 48 teams.
Those 48 teams will be split into 12 groups. 4 teams per group. And all 48 teams have been divided into 4 pots, each containing 12 teams, which we've improvised for training.
This is brilliant.
The pots are based on the latest FIFA Coca-Cola Men's World Ranking as of November 19. Pot 1 has the top 9 teams plus the 3 host nations. Pot 2 has the next 12 highest ranked teams. It's the same for Pot 3, but that has the next 12 highest ranked teams. And Pot 4 has the next 6 highest ranked teams along with 6 placeholders.
Wait, placeholders? What are they?
There are still 6 spots up for grabs at the FIFA World Cup.
6 spots?
FIFA World Cup 26 playoff. 6 teams, 2 qualify. European playoffs, 16 teams, 4 qualify. Those are the 6 placeholders, and they'll be confirmed in March.
Placeholders. Got it.
Next, the 3 host nations. That's already been taken care of.
Good news.
They are in A, B, and D. The teams in Pot 1 will occupy the first positions in each group. And the 3 hosts are already placed. Your draw assistants will draw Pot 1 first, then all of Pot 2, then Pot 3, then Pot 4.
Straight through, one pot at a time.
Rio, listen up. This bit is very important. Teams from Pots 2, 3, and 4 will take a different position in the group they are drawn into. Depending on the group they are drawn into and the pot they come from, their position within the group will vary, either 2, 3, or 4. So you're drawing the group they go into, but not which position in that group.
Got it. So your group position determines who you play in your first game, second game, and your final game.
Exactly! Now, an important rule. No 2 teams from the same confederation can be in the same group.
So no 2 African teams together and no 2 South American teams together, right?
Correct, but there's one exception.
That doesn't surprise me.
European teams. There are 16 European teams at this FIFA World Cup. So 2 European teams can be drawn into the same group, but no more than 2.
European teams are the only exception. Noted.
Now let's practice the actual mechanics.
Pot 3.
Rio, this is your line.
To pot 4.
See, Rio, you've got this. How do you feel?
Good. It's a lot to memorise though. But how did you guys all become experts?
My mum reads me the full draw procedure every night before bed to help me fall asleep.
Wait, where will you guys be during the draw? Can I call you if I need help?
It's a Friday, silly. We'll be at school. Don't worry, you're gonna do great.
I could not have done this without you guys.
It's not that
Crazy.
easy, huh? That looked very tough.
No, listen, guys, I had some crazy coaches like Sir Alex Ferguson and these guys, they were demanding, but these guys, they were right up there, man. But you know, it's worth it. I'm fully prepped and ready to go. Do you understand all that, guys? No, okay, I get you. Oh.
Hold on, not quite done yet. One more big surprise. Kevin, I know you've been waiting and you've been practicing. Now is your big moment.
No, this is a really big moment for me, Heidi. Warming up backstage is what I was prioritizing. Michael Buffer, I want you to beat your heart out, okay? This is it. Are you ready? All right. A national hero who redefined the game. He played a winner of 4 Stanley Cups, hockey's ultimate prize. He's also known simply as the Great One. Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Gretzky.
Woo!
Wow.
Woo! Hello.
Wow.
Iconic.
A New York Yankees legend who's already one of his sports all-time greats, crowned American League MVP once again in 2025 and captain of Team USA in 2026 World Baseball Classic. The extraordinary Aaron Judge.
All right, not bad, not bad. I'm not sure Michael's going to be too worried about his job, though. I also have been practicing myself. Cue the music. A giant of his sport and one of the greatest basketball players of all time, a 4-time NBA champion. It can only be Shaquille O'Neal. And a true icon of the NFL and one of the most celebrated sports stars of his generation, a 7-time Super Bowl champion, the legendary Tom Brady.
Wow, guys, where did this come from? This is a ridiculous setup, man. Wow, icons everywhere.
Well, thanks, Rio. Heidi, listen, by the way, saying thank you to me is just a big deal. It's the nicest thing anybody said to me all day. I appreciate it.
Okay, guys, you've done a great job so far. So, Kevin, Heidi, thank you so much. But
thank you.
We'll take it from here.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Good luck, guys.
Okay.
Wayne, As a Canadian, I mean, how much are you looking forward to just seeing your team play now in this World Cup coming up?
Yeah, we're so excited about it. Soccer is growing so big in Canada right now. We're very proud of our team, and we're looking forward to a great tournament.
Great.
Hey, Aaron, I hear you are a huge football fan. So who do you have your eye on for this tournament?
Wow, just a lot of great teams out there. Definitely looking forward to seeing the USA do their thing out there. But, you know, Argentina's going to have a special group, and looking forward to that.
We should have expected that answer.
Exactly. I mean, Shaq, like Aaron, I know you played American football growing up. You got Tom Brady behind you on your right-hand side. Do you reckon he would have won a few more Super Bowls if he'd have had you on his team?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was talking to Shaq.
Yeah, definitely. You know what they call me in the soccer world?
Oh.
David Blackham.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a fun draw, I can tell you that now. Tom, great to have you with us. Now, I know you're very familiar with football, but we're going to talk about the one with the round ball. Look, can you just tell us how big a deal this is going to be for North America?
Yeah, certainly incredible to have this incredible event come to North America, and we're all counting down the days. I know there's huge anticipation always for this event, and this is, I believe in America, going to be unlike any other event that America's seen.
Indeed. Okay, so Rio, are you ready?
Much. Yeah, I'm ready. I forgot my pen.
Yep.
Though. We got my
Rio,
pen.
you a pen? I got one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Step on.
Okay.
No.
There's another way. Go get him. There he goes. I said over him, Kevin, not under him.
You played too much. It's a serious thing, man. Take it serious. It's the draw.
Oh man, you know that the rehearsals weren't like this. I'm telling you. These guys have gone off script. But anyway, listen, let's get down to business, guys. These are the teams in pot one. Wow. I mean, so as you can see behind us, guys, 3 co-hosts. I mean, they've already been drawn from pot one. They go into group A, B, and D, and that means that there are 9 teams still to be drawn. Right, Sam? Are we getting there?
Yeah, that's right. But one thing to remember with this draw, as per the draw procedures, which Rio was so perfectly taught earlier on, the 4 top teams in the FIFA Coca-Cola World Ranking will be drawn in a way where the top 2, Spain and Argentina, must be drawn in different pathways. So that means if they both win their group, they would only meet in the final if they make it that far. Now, the 3rd and 4th place teams, France and England, also need to be drawn in opposite pathways so that if they win their group, they would only meet the top 2 ranked teams in the semi-finals. This is only on the basis that all 4 teams win their group and get that far.
Okay, so if England win their group, they could only meet Spain or Argentina in the semi-finals.
Yeah, that's correct. But remember, only if all win their groups.
So okay, it's like the NBA playoff bracket, right, Shaq? Listen, so wherever you're watching this in the world, it is time right now. The FIFA World Cup 2026 technical draw powered by Aramco. Tom, it's your turn, man. Let's go.
You ready?
Yep, out of pot one, we're starting.
All right. First up, Brazil.
Hey. Ooh, look at the cheers. The record 5-time champions are the only team to have participated in every World Cup and lifted the trophy in Mexico in 1970 and again here in the US in 1994.
Carlos Ancelotti, his Brazilian team will go into Group C in position 1.
Okay.
Good start, that, Tom. Good start.
All right.
Next ball.
Seemed easier in rehearsal. Okay. Next up, Germany.
Yes, the 4-time champions and record 8-time finalists Germany are gearing up for their 21st appearance at the tournament. That's more than any other European country.
Yep, Germany going to Group E in position 1.
Okay.
Okay. I gotta set it up.
Get into a rhythm.
All right.
They are a bit fiddly.
All right. Netherlands.
8. The 3-time runners-up reached the quarterfinals at the last World Cup in 2022.
Yes, the Netherlands go into Group F in position 1.
Okay. Next ball, Tom.
Belgium.
The Red Devils have twice reached the semi-finals. They were 3rd in 2018 and 4th at Mexico 86.
Yep, Belgium go into Group G in position 1.
Okay. And again.
Spain.
Oh, look at the cheers from that. Spain lifted the World Cup trophy in 2010, becoming the 5th different European team to do so, and the 8th overall.
Yep, Spain go into Group H in position 1.
Okay. You're doing well.
4 more. Argentina.
There you go. Ooh, the defending champions, the first South American team to book their spot. Can Argentina now defend the title they won in such thrilling style in Qatar and lift this trophy for a 4th time? We all remember that final, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I hope you do. Thank you.
Well, we have a factor here, Sam, just so you know. The first one, Argentina go into J1, and we skip I because Spain and Argentina, they must be in separate pathways. So Argentina Group J, and they go into position 1.
Okay.
France.
At the last 7 World Cups, France have reached the final 4 times, winning twice in 1998 and 2018.
We go back to Group I, where France will be in position 1. Almost there, Tom.
Okay.
2 more to go.
Portugal.
Oh, wow, we have some Portuguese in the house.
That was a great applause, great. 3rd on their debut appearance in 1966 and 4th in 2006, Portugal are heading to their 7th successive World Cup.
Portugal going to Group K in position 1.
Okay, 1 more to go.
Last one.
Okay.
Almost there.
You got it. We believe in you.
Good luck to you 3. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Rio.
Yes.
England.
I was wondering where we were going to be out.
And finally, England, the 1966 champions, were the first European team to qualify, winning all 8 games without conceding a goal.
Yep.
We're being neutral, right?
Yeah, I'm being as neutral as I can be.
Okay.
But, England go into Group L in position 1, and that caps off pot 1. So thanks a lot, Tom. Great work. Danny, where are you in the crowd? Where are you? There you are. Which superstar have you got now?
I'm over here. I know you got a lot of legends up there, but I got one myself over here. Iker Casillas, 2010 World Cup winner. How excited are you?
Group E, Germany. Group F, the Netherlands. Group G, Belgium. Group H, Spain. Group I, France. Group J, Argentina. Group K, Portugal. In our final group, we have the 3 Lions of England. I'll come back to my guests, Coach Christopher Nimley, Yahweh J. Minta, and Manuel Kwache, for their thoughts on the draw so far. So, guys, we're back in Accra, but we are monitoring things in the Kennedy Center in the United States. Currently, we have our pot 1 teams already grouped. We are waiting for pot 2, and that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah, man. Look, to be very honest, as we speak now, those in pot 1, at least for now, they know where they are.
Yeah.
They know where they are per their groupings, and like you rightly said, Group A all the way to Group what? L.
L.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what 48 Team World Cup gives you.
This is the advantage of being in the top pot or in pot 1. You see, they have been. The idea is that they are the strongest footballing nation as we speak, as of today. So they have been put in their groups. The rest in Group 2, 3, and 4, or in pot 2, 3, and 4, are now hoping. If you are in pot 1, you are solved or you are sorted. If you are in pot 2, you look at the distribution. Hey, I don't want to go here, or I don't want to go here. I want to go here rather. I want to be here rather. Everybody is now wondering, where will I be? Where will I be? Look, like you rightly said, the draw gets even more interesting once we go and then we pick from pot 2. And like you rightly said,
so
the teams in pot 2.
Let's go through the teams in pot 2. We have Croatia, we have Morocco, we have Colombia, we have Uruguay, we have Switzerland, Japan, Senegal, Iran, South Korea, Ecuador, Austria, and Australia.
Wow. Although we've gone through.
But actually, even I want to make adjustment to my picks, because
there you go again.
My picks, I will go in for I initially picked Qatar and Australia and Ghana and Canada, but Australia and Qatar are in the same confederation, so they can't meet. That's the Asia Confederation. And so I'll adjust it to Iran and Panama. So Iran from pot 2, and pot 3, I'll pick Panama. So for me, it will be Canada, Iran, Panama, and Ghana. Yes, that's how I will do it. So pot 2, draw is taking place.
So we are getting our first country from pot 2, South Korea.
Yes.
And now we determine which group they would be placed in.
To be fair, I think the most interesting part comes after pot 3 is done, and then now we have to now choose which group we'd most likely want Ghana not to end up in. Mexico and Korea in Group A.
We've seen South Korea join Mexico, the host Mexico, in Group A. And as the draw goes on, I want you to tell me whether Ghana would be perfect for each of those groups once we see more teams apply for it. So your thoughts on this one?
So far, I don't want to go in Group A. I've said it. I don't want to play any of the host nation. I don't want to play any of, because it's looking likely that if you are the Group D team will play the host nation in the first game.
Okay, so we have our second team in Group B, Switzerland. They join host Canada in Group B. So we have Group A completed, Mexico and South Korea, 2 teams already. In Group B, we have Canada and Switzerland. Now we are looking for Group C. So guys, Morocco joins
to be fair,
the first African team.
Yeah, I think I heard someone making the point that because of their 3 host nations, that's why Morocco ended up in Group Port 2.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But how good will
Yes,
they
that's-
perform? And they'd probably be in Port A. So
Yeah.
to see where they've ended up is interesting.
So it's Morocco, Brazil in Group C for the World
That's a
Cup, which
proper
is
that's a proper
That's a
test.
proper football
That's
game.
a proper test.
That's a proper football game. Wow.
Do we see Morocco making it
No.
out?
I mean,
with,
yeah,
the teams, with the teams that are left and with them
If there's
picking
another strong group that gets drawn into that group, that's another strong team that gets drawn into that
Australia.
group, then that would mean they are looking at a potential group of death, because Brazil and Morocco, yes, already they check the box for tough teams. So if there's another tough team that's added to that group, then we already have a group of death.
we have our second team of Group D.
I'm liking Group
Australia.
D.
Australia joins USA. in
I'm
Group
liking
D.
Group D. We get our revenge back and then easy Australia. I think.
Remember that we played Australia in the 2010 World
Yes,
Cup. We
2010
beat
World Cup,
Australia
yeah.
by a goal to 0. So we have prize with Australia, who have been placed in Group D.
I
with
think we
the
drew
United
with them.
States.
Yeah, we drew them with Serbia.
We drew with Australia. It was
Ecuador.
1-1. So Ecuador joined Germany in Group E for the FIFA World Cup. So the group so far, Mexico and South Korea in Group A. Group B, we have Canada and Switzerland. Group C, Brazil and Morocco. Group D, we have the United States and Australia. And Group E, we have Germany and Ecuador. So some big matches
that's a
already
good- yeah,
set up
that's
for.
looking nice.
I think
Japan.
it's also interesting to note where the African team falls, because then we automatically know that we can't be placed in that group.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It limits our options. So
as it
and in
stands,
Port
we
3,
can't go in groups.
We can't go in
we can't
Group
go
C.
in groups. Yeah, we can't go in Group C. There are lots of African teams in Port 3 too. So I think once that started out, also by elimination, we also know that there are only where Ghana can fit in
Japan.
terms of the draw.
In Group F, we have Netherlands versus Japan. Netherlands, of course, very well respected as a footballing nation, but they
Iran.
often struggle at World Cups. We have Iran taking their place in Group G alongside Belgium. So another possible group Ghana could end up in. Guys, how do you see Ghana faring in the group with Belgium and Iran?
Let's wait.
Belgium and Iran.
I think that could be. I think that could be.
At least
I
I
pointed
see
out
a
how
win.
Belgium is
At
the
least I
least.
see a win.
A win
Over
against
Iran. Yeah.
I don't see a win.
That's surprising to hear.
Over Iran? Oh,
I
yeah, I
don't
see
see
a
it.
win. I see a win over Iran.
Okay, so we have a Latino contest
Uruguay.
between Spain and Uruguay in Group H. Spain, of course, massive nation, 2010 World Cup winners.
That's also now a group to avoid.
Yes.
You don't want to be in that.
I do not.
You don't want to be in that group.
I do not need
That's a
to.
group everyone wants to avoid. Uruguay, of course, two-time winners of the World Cup. Spain won it in 2010, their only victory in the competition. There's a possibility that the Black Stars could end up in that group, but we'll wait for the draw to be completed. Senegal versus France, a francophone contest in Group I.
Then Ghana should get England.
2002, 2002 repeat.
Exactly.
You remember?
Exactly.
2002.
The big one of the
biggest shock in world football.
World football
has been
Senegal
repeated.
beating France in that tournament. The defending world champions, France, in that tournament, and they get to face off again at the 2026 World Cup in the group stage. We see
that will be their first match.
Kylian Mbappe versus Nicolas Jackson.
Wow.
Sadio Mane versus
Austria.
Ousmane Dembele. Austria are in Group J alongside the defending champions Argentina. We're getting some really interesting groups.
To be fair, if England get either Colombia or Croatia, it would be a repeat from the from Russia when they beat Colombia in I think the round of 16, but they lost to Croatia in the semi-final. So,
well, Portugal and England praying, I'm sure, to avoid
they'll definitely get
Colombia.
So Colombia will be in Group K with Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal. One last chance, one last dance.
And obviously, I think Croatia will go into the England.
Yes,
group.
and we are going to see Croatia versus England, a repeat of the World Cup semi-final
in Russia.
2018. So Portugal facing Colombia.
So now looking at the last 4 groups, obviously we can't be in the France group. I do not want to be in either England, Portugal. Although we look in England and
we
Croatia.
can't be in the Brazil group.
Yeah,
we can't be in the
Brazil and Argentina group. Sorry, the Brazil and the France group.
Yeah,
France are playing with Senegal.
So an update of the groups and of course where Ghana can be placed. Group A, we have Mexico and South Korea. Ghana can definitely go into that
As it
group.
stands, just Group A and G are looking the sweet spots right now. If we can find a way to get there and then work our way out to the group and then see what happens. But like we said, it's a World Cup. Like we can't keep expecting the easiest run till we get to the final.
Exactly.
And no, so we have to play good teams.
So
but I'm just worried about our likelihood of going through if we are placed in a group with 2 top teams who already will think that they should qualify. Does that make sense? And looking at England, Croatia, that's definitely one of them. Portugal, Colombia.
That's already a tough group.
Yeah, exactly. Argentina, Austria could be dark horses. But I don't think
they are a dangerous team.
Yeah, and I don't think you want to be in a group with the defending champions, at least to begin with. So.
Okay, so a reminder, we have our group set and we'll be bringing you that in a bit, but we are moving on to pot 3, which will make things even more interesting, and I'll bring you a list of the teams that are in pot 3 right now. In pot 3 we have Norway, Erling Haaland's Norway, and also Martin Odegaard. So very tough opponents given how they qualified. They were unbeaten in the qualifying stages and thrashed Italy away from home. So very difficult team to face. Panama also in pot 3. We have Egypt, who have been dominant in the African scene.
Edwin, I think after this group we can look at the film and predict where the Black Stars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So because of how many African teams are in this particular
group. So we continue. Algeria, another African team. Scotland, Paraguay, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, the African champions. Uzbekistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. And of course,
there are 5 African teams in this draw.
And there are already 2 groups that we can go. So by the end of this, 7 groups are already out of the way for Ghana.
So we might find out which group Ghana is in after this round of the draw. So we are looking at pot 3. So far, we have a number of decent matchups coming up in the World Cup. Which of the groups excites you so far with just 2 teams in there? There's France.
There's the France Senegal. Yeah, the France Senegal group.
There's Brazil taking on Morocco.
Yeah, Brazil taking on Morocco is fine.
There's
but
England, Croatia.
I like the France Senegal better than the Brazil Morocco because of all the things that's connected to football and then some. So because of the football quality, yes, I like it. Then there's the political side to it, that the relationship between France and Senegal because of their history together, former colonial master and a colonized country facing off. And on top of that, you have to also factor in that big shock that they delivered in the 2002 World Cup. And so all of that adds up. And I see it edging past the Brazil-Morocco game, England-Croatia game in terms of excitement. I mean, England-Croatia at this point in time, their squad is quite well aged, and so they don't bring the same pop as they did back in the day. So
first team, South Africa,
Group A
have taken their spot in Group A. So we have Mexico, South Africa, and South Korea. So Ghana won't be in Group A. Guys, your thoughts on this group?
Well, I picked Ghana to be in Canada's group, so I'm not shocked by Ghana's omission or missing out in Group A.
Okay, so we'll do a deeper dive on each of the groups, but currently Group A, 3/4 complete.
But Group A is looking quite solid. Like anyone can qualify.
Yes.
Because South Africa can qualify,
Mexico.
South Korea can qualify, Mexico definitely can qualify.
So we have our third team in Group B, Qatar, the host of the last World Cup. They go into Group B with Canada.
So
and
that is a
Switzerland.
possibility for the Black Stars.
That's a huge possibility for the Black Stars. So a decent group in Group B: Canada, Switzerland, and now Qatar.
That's. I mean, looking at the other options that are available, I think if we were able to land in a group like that, I think we'd very much fancy our chances of getting out of the group.
I picked Canada. Yeah, Canada group. Yeah, we should end up there.
Okay.
We are going to the
So we have Group C where Brazil, Morocco, and now Paraguay.
No, Paraguay can go.
No, they'll move. Yeah, of course. Paraguay, obviously, in the same continent as Brazil, so they will have to go into Group D, I believe, where we have USA on Australia already. So USA, Australia, and Paraguay.
Another possibility
Another
right
solid
there,
group.
which is
winnable.
It's a pretty decent group.
I don't want the Black Stars to go into that group.
Coach doesn't want the Black Stars to be
Australia, America.
The teams there, I'll have my point where I don't want the Black Stars to play the host nation. Paraguay and Australia, they are a physical team.
Cote d'Ivoire in Group E with Germany and Ecuador. So a big team avoided for the Black Stars. Black Stars don't get to play Germany, but Cote d'Ivoire, the African champions.
Really tough group.
He looks stressed. MSY, the head coach of Cote d'Ivoire, he looks
tough
stressed.
Group.
Yeah, he looks a bit worried. He looks a bit concerned. And the same as Julian Nagelsmann. Yeah, you can see that wry smile on his face. Yeah, he is concerned. He is concerned because of the quality that Ecuador have and Cote d'Ivoire.
And Germany themselves haven't been at
the best
in
when it comes to
recent-
international tournaments.
in recent years. So we move on to the next team, Tunisia. Tunisia.
Netherlands,
They go
Japan.
into Group
Netherlands.
With F, I think, with
Group F.
Netherlands and
F.
Japan.
No, yes, Group F.
So we can't
with
go into that group.
Netherlands and Japan. So the Black Stars avoid their Kirin Cup opponents.
So,
and
I mean,
also the Dutch team and Netherlands.
So right now, as it stands, it looks like we can only go, at least based on the so far in the draw, it looks like we can only go into Group B and
we can go into
D.
the Spain group. We can go into the Argentina group.
Well, I mean, not yet, because they might pull out
So we
African
have
countries. Egypt.
We cannot go to G.
Egypt in Group G alongside Belgium
We
and
cannot
Iran.
go to G.
So Black Stars avoid Group G as Egypt's going there with Belgium and Iran. So wow. So far, let me just take
Ghana
you through.
Group A. Give Ghana Group A. Give Ghana Group B. Group B.
I want them to pick Algeria here so
Tell
that we
us in the
avoid
moment.
the Spain.
If they pick Algeria for the Spain, Uruguay,
So we avoid Spain.
that means we'll be left with Argentina, Portugal, England.
Those are difficult.
So now Spain, Uruguay.
Those are difficult groups.
Spain, Uruguay in Group H, and their opponents will be Scotland. Scotland in Group H, which keeps the door open for the Black Stars to land in Group H.
I feel for them. I think this is their first World Cup
And
since
that's
1994
Spain,
and 98.
Since 98.
And
Spain,
to land in a
Scotland,
group with Spain and Uruguay, that's quite troubling for them.
What? Spain, Uruguay.
And
Actually,
they've been moved to.
Yes,
and they
Scotland
moved
go
them
into
to
Group
Brazil.
C, where they still have a tough task.
Yeah, because they are in
with
Europe.
Brazil.
Yeah, so there's
you
no
can't be
Europe.
in the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
group
exactly.
with Spain. So they
No.
move them to
They can't be in the same group as Spain, but they can't be
more than two. Yes.
European teams.
But that will come in after the initial draw is done. Yeah.
Is that South Africa?
Saudi Arabia.
So
I think they're
Saudi
landing-
Arabia.
It looks like Group H.
So let me take you through the groups. Group A, Mexico, South Africa, South Korea. Group B, Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland. Group C, Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. Group C, we have the USA. We have, I'll bring you that in a bit. We have the USA, we have Paraguay, and we have Australia. In Group E, we have Germany, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. Group F, we have Netherlands, Japan, and Tunisia. Group G, we have Belgium, Egypt, and Iran. Group H, we have Spain, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay.
Okay, so now we
Group
can meet
I,
Argentina.
We have Group I, we have France, Senegal.
No, take them to the Argentina group.
In Group J, it looks like I think Algeria have been put.
Algeria have been picked.
And
So
it
now
looks
we
like
go to
they'll be
Argentina.
put in the Argentina
We
group.
go to Group J where
So we avoid Argentina.
Algeria, and Austria, the AAA.
So as it stands now, I
Algeria.
think Ghana can either be in Group B, D, K, or L.
Group B, D, K, or L. But there's also Group H. Uzbekistan have been picked, and they go
To the
straight.
Portugal group.
Yeah, that's
we'll
Fabio
see
Cannavaro,
which
their head
group they end up in, but it's Uzbekistan who have been picked, and they might end up in Group K or Group I, depending on where things go. So they end up in Group K with Portugal and Colombia. So Portugal, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. Definitely Uzbekistan, the whipping boys. An easy in quotes team for Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal to get past.
That's one country to worry about less. Yeah, because Colombia will give them fits. Colombia will give them troubles.
So Panama from the CONCACAF region. So obviously there are
Group L.
Two groups they could end up in. There's Group L and then there's Group I. So we are waiting for where Panama will end up. They end up in Group IL rather, with
that's where Ghana should
England, Croatia, of course Panama joining those two countries. So we have three teams and almost all but
That
one
should be Egypt.
all but one
Norway.
group.
I think Norway
And
should be
Norway.
ending up in Group I.
Norway end up in Group I with France and Senegal. That is an insane group.
The man is worried about Haaland.
Didier Deschamps smiling because obviously a massive group. We have France, Senegal.
That's a big group.
And Norway.
If they end up getting
That's already group of death.
Yeah, so far, yes. If they end up drawing another tough team, that will pass off for group of death.
But to be fair to France, they have made back-to-back finals. I don't think they should be worried about the group stage. As challenging as it seems it may be for them, I think that they should be able to get out.
Against Senegal and Norway, they are very tough.
I mean,
very tough.
I mean, so yeah. So now,
okay.
So now,
Group B.
I think, so let's look at our possibility. We could go in Group what?
B.
We could go in
Group
D.
B. We could go. Can we go in Group C?
Yeah, we can go in Group B,
No.
Group D.
Group D, Group B, Group D,
Group B, Group D,
Group L,
Group
H and L.
H and L.
Group B, Group D, Group H, Group K,
Group K and L. Group K and Group L. So we have five
Group B-
possibilities.
Group B has Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland. Group D has USA, Paraguay, and Australia. Group H, has Spain, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Group K has Portugal, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. And Group L has England, Croatia, and Paraguay.
Panama. Yeah, so Group B will work. I mean,
Group-
Ghana, Canada, Qatar, Switzerland.
Group B would
very
be
workable.
Group B would be the much preferred choice.
Yeah,
but
Group B.
on probability, a 20% chance. I'm not sure if we might they are our opponents. But I think if we're able to get in Group B, we might even be able to think about topping the group.
That's how confident you
So
are.
Switzerland, they are beatable.
Which is
And I'm very confident that Ghana easily beats. I wouldn't say easily, but Ghana beats Canada. And then there is what? Qatar.
Yes.
Come on. Hulele Lopetegui's team. Qatar, lack of quality and talent. Yeah.
Qatar were pretty decent in the last World Cup. Which
They lost all their games in the group stage. They lost all their
They were
games.
pretty decent football wise. I thought.
and this is their first time qualifying on merit, so that should show you that at least
Yeah,
right now,
but, I mean,
their team is more competitive than it's been. But then again, you also have the expansion of the tournament.
Yeah,
But
so-
but I think they won the Asian Cup not too long ago,
Yes, they
maybe within the last 5 years. So I think
that
they've
was
been
before the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah, so pretty decent thing that we could look out for. But we are moving to pot 4, which of course is the pot that Ghana unfortunately find themselves in. So let me give you the other teams in the group. We have Jordan, we have Cape Verde, we have of course Ghana, the Black Stars, we have Curacao, we have Haiti, we have New Zealand, we have the 4 qualifiers from UEFA's playoffs, and then we have the 2 intercontinental playoff teams. So there you have it. Pot 4: Jordan, Cape Verde, Ghana, Curacao, Haiti, New Zealand. The the 4 playoff qualifiers from Europe, and then the 2 intercontinental playoff teams. So we have 3 of the 4 teams in each group so far.
And here we are.
The final teams, and that draw is about to start. The draw for pot 4. A few explanations going on where each team will end. Obviously, as I explained earlier, no 2 teams from the same confederation except UEFA or Europe can end up in the same group, which has limited the chances of Ghana ending up in some pretty tasty groups. So this round of the draw about to begin. Watch out for the Black Stars of Ghana, wherever we end up. First team pulled out is
very dramatic.
Okay, so we have one of the teams from UEFA's players: Denmark, North Macedonia, Czech Republic, and the Republic of Ireland. So one of the UEFA qualifiers will end up in Group
I think
A,
we should have also looked out for the teams that already have 2 European nations already.
Yes.
Because that would...
So this look likely Group A, only 1 European nation
Group
in there.
I think you're right. Group A is very much everyone's game. If you are... Because Denmark, North Macedonia, Czech Republic, and Ireland going along with Korea, South Africa, and Mexico.
I think it's a group of equals.
I mean,
it's a group of
I haven't
equals.
heard that term before, but I think it's an evenly matched group.
Yeah, it's a group of equals. Well, to an extent, because South Africa necessarily doesn't match up to
behaving and picking the things like that.
Okay, so our second group of teams from Group
B goes. It looks like
Ghana cannot end up in Group B. Because we have Canada.
That's where the Qatar team is.
That's what Qatar is. So we have Canada, Qatar, Switzerland, and now we have the winner of the playoff competition between Italy, Wales,
and Northern Ireland,
Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Northern Ireland. So no chance for the Black Stars in Group B, one of the favorite
Then
groups.
Canada can fancy their chances of qualifying from the group.
Of course,
I think all these teams can fancy their chances.
I think if Italy are able to get it, they're probably favorites. But that's if they went at the last edition and they haven't been playing quite well.
Haiti have been drawn in. So Haiti Whipping Boys in Group C, where they'll take on Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. So
if I'm right, because of the staging of the team, some of the third place teams will be able to qualify to the round of 32.
Yes.
I think that should. I
don't see Haiti.
I was thinking of Morocco and Scotland. Morocco and Scotland. I'm thinking of Morocco and Scotland. If Morocco can
ahead of Brazil.
Yes, this Brazilian team, they are not Ghana.
Curacao, obviously the smallest nation ever to qualify for the World Cup, a population of about 150.
Where have they gone to? They've gone to the US.
Yeah, they go to the US.
158,000 people.
Just like we predicted, now we're left with either Spain, Portugal, or England.
So they go in Group
No, I'm saying
because they are in the CONCACAF region.
With the US.
So they play Germany, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. So Group E for Curacao, a massive World Cup for them.
Ghana.
The smallest ever nation to qualify for the World
Cup. In the US group.
Which is good. Hearts are beating.
Which is good.
Hearts are beating here in Ghana, waiting for the team we might face. The next team to be drawn out of the bowl is one of the intercontinental playoff places: Iraq, Bolivia, and Suriname. Iraq, Bolivia, and Suriname.
That will go into the US group.
No, it can't, because there's a possibility of Iraq winning that one.
Yes.
And you can't have Australia and Iraq in the same group
Exactly.
because they're in both in Asia.
Okay,
Exactly. So we'll see where they end up in Group I with France and Senegal and Norway.
Every possibility.
Yes. So Group I, France, Senegal, Norway, and the intercontinental.
So we are left with what?
I think this is Ghana now. I think we sneak into the USA group and then it ends.
Which is the good group?
I mean,
Ghana.
Cape Verde.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Cape Verde. Obviously, they go into Group D, I believe.
You go USA, Cape Verde, and Paraguay.
First time at the World Cup ever. Surprise qualifiers. But Cape Verde, they go into Group H actually. against Spain, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. So one of the big groups.
We thought they were going. Okay, then.
Well, there's still an opportunity for Ghana.
Yeah, your hope.
So 3 groups left: Group D, Group J, and Group G. And of course, Ghana can only end
Group
up
L.
And Group L, actually.
L.
And of course, Ghana can only end up in Group D, Group L,
D, L, and K.
And K.
But I.
So we have.
No, it's a playoff team.
The tension is killing us.
Yeah, I can see it's a playoff.
What is this man doing with the draw?
Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo from Europe's.
And I think they fit right in Group D because there's no European team already.
And
so that
we wait for when
because they're all European teams. So,
I think we need to start being honest and looking at Group K and L and deciding where we'd rather end up, England or Portugal.
Okay, so they end up in
yeah,
D.
it's gone.
Papa no pick it. That was second. What you feel?
We have USA, we have Paraguay, we have Australia, and we have the winner of the UEFA playoff.
Yeah, I think we're going to go into Portugal's group.
Next team, another playoff winner: Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, and Albania.
Look, we are going to Group L.
We are going to Group L. We'll play England.
Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Panama, or Albania. The winner of that mini playoff will go into Group F alongside the Netherlands, Japan, and Tunisia.
So right now, it's left with Jordan and Ghana, and New Zealand.
So we have Jordan, Ghana, New Zealand.
I think I've seen Ghana. We are
one of the players from
Jordan.
So we have Jordan. Interesting
stuff.
Papa
no pick I
think so. They're going to Group J because I don't think they'll be in the same confederation as Iran.
Yes, they can't be in the same confederation as Iran, so they go into Group J alongside Argentina, Algeria, and Austria.
It's England or Portugal. We have to.
A very difficult group for Jordan there, but back to the Black Stars, as Manuel says.
But quite straightforward for Argentina. I mean,
England,
Austria, Jordan.
Or a reunion with Portugal.
Only 2 more groups, which is L or what?
So we have
only K or L. For Ghana, it's only K or L.
But for Ghana, it's Group K.
It's not us again. It's still not Ghana.
Are we going to be the last? We have Congo DR, Jamaica, New Caledonia, who of course will take part in the.
So they can go.
Which is interesting because they can't be in Group G because
they can go
because of Egypt. So they will either go into Group K or L. So once we know where they are, we know
where Ghana will be in.
They will go to K.
Yeah. So they are going Group K. So which means we can confirm
Ghana
that the Black Stars will be in the same group with England, Croatia, and Panama. So prepare your calendars, prepare your start sheets.
Oh, but we could end up in Group G.
I think this is interesting.
Group G has Egypt. So we are definitely going to Group L.
We are definitely going to Group L: England, Croatia, and Panama. So
I'm not a superstitious man, but I think this is interesting for coach's theory of
this is not Ghana.
The finalists coming from our group or the winner coming from our group.
Out of the bowl, finally represented by Randy Abe,
Otuado
as well.
And young kid, you know.
Prosper Harris-Lado as well, and Otuado. Yeah. We know which group you're going to go in. Thomas Tuchel, England's Thomas Tuchel, Croatia featuring Luka Modric, Josko Vardio.
But we should qualify from this group.
Croatia and
Panama.
Croatia.
This is
we'll get to your thoughts in a bit. But
they've always been a good team at major tournament. And don't overlook them. They are a footballing nation. They will normally come with the unknown players, but they will have their say.
I mean, fair, but if you look at the group and the strength of the group,
you can't trust our team, because in our last 2-3 tournaments we've been shambolic, very very shambolic. So if you are going to be playing against Croatia, our first game is likely to be against who?
No, it will come to
later. It will come later. come tomorrow.
So I think that's also interesting. If we start against Panama, I mean, I don't.
He's a World Cup legend. He's a World Cup legend.
So
he's the highest goal-scoring African player at the World Cup.
Transit.
Okay, so Asamoah being interviewed ahead of the World Cup, after the World Cup draw, which has seen Ghana being drawn into Group L alongside England, Croatia, and Panama. So we'll go through the groups.
I got two of my prediction right. I said England, Panama.
So
I was afraid of Croatia, though. I didn't want us to meet Croatia.
We'll get the thoughts of my guests on the group draw so far.
Another thing that I was concerned about, where will the teams be based? That one too will come when?
It come tomorrow.
Come tomorrow. By all means, England will go to America. So we are in America.
Okay, so we've got the full list of the groups for next year's World Cup. I'll go through them. Group A, Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and the winner of playoff D in Europe. In Group B, Canada, the winner of playoff A, Qatar, Switzerland. In Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. In Group D, USA, Paraguay, Australia, the winner of playoff C. In Group E, Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador. In Group F, Netherlands, Japan, the winner of playoff B. And Tunisia. In Group G, we have Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. In Group H, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. In Group I, France, Senegal, the winner of playoff 2, and Norway. In Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Australia, and Jordan. In Group K, Portugal, the winner of playoff 1, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. And in Group L, England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. So, Manuel, what do you think?
Wow.
Can the Black Stars make it out of this group?
I think so. I think we can definitely make it out of this group. I think if we go there and compete, we definitely have a chance to make it out of this group. I think it's also interesting to note that the fact that we're in Group L means that in terms of match days, we'll be on the final. Like we were playing last. So even if it gets to a point where we need to qualify to the round of 32, we'll be playing on the final, like on the final match day before the final stretch of games. Yes. So I think they should be able to make it out of this group. The England test will be interesting because I think England they are coming into this tournament with a different mindset. They are looking to win it. So in our game against them, I think it will be interesting to test where our level is against the best of the best in the competition. Croatia, like Coach said, they have a good record when it comes to international tournaments. They've been World Cup finalists not too long ago, just in the past 2 editions. So I think that they can also pose an interesting challenge for Ghana. But like you said, I think they are at a different stretch of their generation. I think this generation is I wouldn't say it's a golden, but they had a golden generation. I think that most of the people in the golden generation are now too old to be in this team. So Rakitic is out, Modric is out, Brozovic is somewhere.
Out. He's still pulling the string.
He might make it in there.
Or he will make it there, but it's different from Ronaldo, but it's I don't think he's the Modric that we know from the 2018 World Cup.
Well,
and I don't think
he's been superb for AC Milan.
I love the Italian league. I love the Italian league. All I will say is that it matches his pace. The pace of the game matches where he is.
Boss in the midfield of Modric and the other guy. What is the name of that guy?
Kovacic.
Not even Kovacic. Brozovic. They have a very, very formidable team. Their team is very, very dangerous.
Yeah,
you see, they have a very good goalkeeper. Don't forget, their goalkeeper, very solid. You remember the guy? That goalkeeper, I've forgotten his. They have a very and their backline. See, one thing about these Croatians and these Eastern European countries, defensively, they are a very difficult team to play against. In midfield, they are very good, and their team is not an aging team. They've now created a balance between the aging guys and the youthful guys. So when you look at their qualification, they did very, very well.
Yes.
They did very well in their qualification group.
They actually enjoyed an unbeaten campaign on the way to the World Cup.
But the European qualifiers,
No, but
pretty much
you would have said the same thing. We would have said the same thing about the African
right
qualifiers.
now, the Africa qualifiers too is a mole qualifier.
I'm about to say, if you had gotten Antula,
it's mole. Yeah,
no,
it's mole.
Wait. Burkina Faso, look at the number of points they accumulated.
Look at
Niger, even Niger, the number of points they accumulated. Madagascar and Co. If you put them in Europe, they will be playing for the playoffs.
You see,
they will be playing for the playoffs. They are playing against Kosovo and Liechtenstein.
Who are the It's ifs and buts.
It's ifs and buts. But we can see quality when we see it, and we see competition.
I think you also need to point out population.
Most of the European games that we term as mole games are better than some of the games we term as quality here on the continent.
In terms of aesthetics, in terms of the infrastructure and the pitches and all,
in
in terms
pitch.
of the quality of the game and the competitiveness, no.
You could
if
say
you
that
pull the African draw, just as if you compare to the European draw, most of our games, look at the Black Stars in Group A that we find out. We should be qualifying from that.
Yes, but I'm saying that the countries that didn't qualify, for instance, Madagascar were in our group. If you put Madagascar against Kosovo and Liechtenstein, Madagascar will beat those countries.
You see,
it's
and will be in a position to be qualified via the playoffs.
You might be saying this because the quality between England and maybe a Kosovo is so large.
Yeah,
so
but if you bring them
they will match up.
Exactly.
Yes, and that's what and that's even makes my point. When you strike the average, the level of quality and competition on the African continent is higher than Europe.
No, I don't think so.
The only reason why the European scene gets a higher rank is because the ones who are so good are so good and better than the African countries.
I think it's a point you're making.
That's where there's a difference. But let's not go get it confused.
Yeah.
When you strike the average, the level of competition in the African qualifiers, it is higher than Europe.
Because they are more evenly matched, but that does not necessarily make them better.
It's not true.
Because they are more evenly matched, and therefore it's more competitive between the teams.
Which one? The African?
The African team is more evenly matched, and there's a bigger disparity between the international teams and
the average.
But the average is what I'm saying. If the average, everyone here is 2, and over here someone is 10 and someone is 1. Obviously, if you do an average of the teams in Africa, maybe you might get
Portugal beats Albania 9-0. Are you telling me that Burkina Faso can beat Albania by 5?
But that's not how it works.
No, I'm saying that when you strike the average, look at the number of the teams that competed on the African continent, the qualifiers. Then look at the teams that played in the European qualifiers. Look at the quality of games they played. Like, you can't compare the two. The African qualifiers, on the average, is more difficult than the European qualifiers, especially when you even factor in the other issues, the other factors, the heat and all of those things. It's way more difficult.
But everyone has their situation. Some people have extreme cold.
You see,
we have extreme heat.
I disagree with you 100%. I think
you play against Kosovo,
Manuel. That is where Kosovo finds themselves.
And you're not even including population. These are some of these countries are about 100.
Croatia played against Faroe Islands, Gibraltar, what, Montenegro, and you're telling me that what they went unbeaten, and so it's a big deal.
Those were the only no, but Croatia has a better pedigree in world football than the Black Stars.
It's true.
So what point are you making?
That. I am saying that the European qualifiers compared to the African qualifiers, the European qualifiers is easy.
You see,
it's easy because we are playing against Faroe Islands, Gibraltar.
Let's put
Adabraka 11. Adabraka 11 we go against Gibraltar. Ghana Adabraka 11. We will beat Gibraltar.
It's not true. It's not true. Nobody's arguing. You've made your point. Let us make our point.
That's fine.
The point I'm making is that if you look at the Black Stars group, it's a very, very difficult group.
Yes.
It's extremely difficult. How Panama qualify? Panama in recent times have been doing extremely well in their zone. They are in the same zone as America and those.
Oh yeah, no fair. But Panama, this is their second World Cup, and if you saw how excited they were just to score a goal at the last tournament,
you see,
I think we should at least perspective-wise. I think we should have the quality to at least beat Panama.
I'm coming. It's not about Panama here.
Okay.
So fair.
About Panama, just a quick start about them. This, as you said, is their second World Cup.
That's
in
right.
The maiden edition, they were grouped with England and Belgium.
That's right.
Yeah.
and Belgium, both of whom went to the semi-final.
That's right.
Yes.
So
Because the other
a very difficult group anyway.
It's a very difficult group anyway.
No one expected
As
them
we
to
speak,
qualify from there.
as we speak now, the Black Stars is the last ranked team in that group. True or false?
True.
We are ranked lower than Panama.
Of course,
Yes,
yes.
because
They were in
of where
pot
we end
three.
up. Yeah, because of where the
They
configuration
were in
we are
pot three.
playing
That's fine,
in.
yes.
Yes, that's why.
They were in pot three.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, you need to look at all these things and look at the group with a very clear, open eye. The England game I called for because of what we've gotten with Senegal and France. But is our team better than them? No. Our team is. If we don't stand up and match up to that game, we could be disgraced.
Which game?
The England game.
England.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Now, if you go to the Croatia game, I think the Croatia game is the game that even determines whether we qualify to the next stage or not. And that is the most dangerous game of the group. The reason why I'm saying this, the current crop of Black Stars players in this technical team has not convinced anybody that in a major tournament they can stand up and be counted. Edwin, is what I'm saying not true?
Oh, absolutely.
You can count them. Until they go there to do it, you can count on them. So we are going to a tournament, the World Cup, in a very difficult group where we are hoping that our boys will go out there and make us proud. I really do want them to make us proud, because at the end of the day, we have to stand up. You remember, I've always said that if you can put $13.67 million as a budget and say that is what we hope to go and make everything go well, then we are not going there to joke. Oh. It's not a matter of we going there to joke. We are going there and making sure we make an impact. And that impact is a non-negotiable impact. Because some of us will not accept it, even though I admit that the group is a difficult group. If this Black Stars team show up and they are properly coached, we should be able to match up to the teams in our group. But here is the situation where, as we speak today, we don't know the forward identity of our team. We don't know whether our coach is playing in a certain way. We don't know. And we don't know a lot about our team. We don't know. I think from the technical bench to the playing body, this is the weakest team we are taking to the World Cup. If you compare it to our 2006, 2010, 2014 group that we took, this, in my view, is the weakest team we are taking to the World Cup. This, in my view, is the weakest team we are taking to the World Cup. So at the end of the day, we need to look at this group, and we need to attach every degree of seriousness to whatever is happening, so that we'll go out there and be counted. Anything apart from that will be unacceptable.
So we've seen the draw. We've seen the teams that gone. The Black Stars will face at next year's World Cup. Now we want to hear from you. Join the conversation. I know I've abandoned our YouTube and WhatsApp commentators throughout the show.
Now that we've drawn England, means what? Gideon Mensah will be coming up against Bukayo Saka.
Noni Madueke.
Yeah, Noni Madueke.
Yeah, if Cole Palmer ends up on that side. Jared Bowen. And we are coming up against one of the best,
Hurricane in the middle of
Salisu Salisu pick. Salisu pick. One of the match for Champions League game.
Hurricane. Oh yeah, least mistake.
Yeah, but
yeah, running up
Rice,
against our midfield.
But the thing is, it's clear the group of death is the group I. The group of death where you have
the Norway, the France, the
Norway,
Senegal.
France, Senegal, and then the winner of the playoffs, European playoffs.
That could be Italy.
That could also be Italy and all.
That
so
could be.
Yeah, straightforward. That's the group of death, because if irrespective of the team that comes out of that group, it will still be a strong team. And when you add it up to the 3 teams that have already been drawn, that's the group of them.
Yeah, we'll come back to and analyze each of the groups in turn, but I want to go to our YouTube page where we have a number of people watching currently. So send in your comments. You can also send in your comments via WhatsApp. Our number is 054-9986-996. Send in your comments via WhatsApp. I'll make sure to get to them. But let's start from YouTube, where Samuel's in team 127. He says God has really favored us with this group. He says Ghana will be fine and will qualify from this group with England. So now we move on to Kobina Amwa. I hope I'm getting it right. Yes, we'll move on from him to J Blockchain, who says Saka has 1 assist in the next 365 days. So already saying that Saka will assist against
is it like Saka is not like a young
okay, he has only one assist in the last 365 days, so it's not a big deal. Okay, we hear
Is it the last or in the next?
In the last. In 65.
But he didn't count the number of goals he scored in the last. He said, don't screw the message to
don't screw the statistic.
Yes, don't say it well. He has 1 assist, but how many goals has he scored in the last 360 something days? That is what you should be worried about. Actually, I would rather prefer that he hands over the goal scoring responsibility to somebody than he himself scoring.
And he has Harry Kane. He doesn't need to. Okay, so we move on to Doris, who says Ghana will shock us all. So now Fletch Park says we can beat Panama. They haven't faced any African team yet. So we move on from that comment. So many of them, and I'll try and get to as many as I can. Kobina Amwa says Perisic versus Gideon Mensah.
Oh no, it won't happen because Perisic plays on the other side.
But even now he's a bench player.
Yeah,
he'll be going up against Alidu Seidu and Co.
He says, imagine Saka versus Alidu Seidu.
No, that too is also not unlikely because Saka plays on the right side. Alidu Seidu plays
unless Alidu Seidu is plays
shoehorned in that side,
because he did play on the left hand side against South Korea, I believe, in the current cup.
He's versatile enough to play on the right side of a 3-man back line. He's versatile enough to play as a right full back and as a left full back. But likely it's going to be Gideon Mensah, unless maybe Derek Atakon steps up or one of our players coming up really steps up and dethrones Gideon Mensah from that spot.
Okay, so more comments coming in. Haruna, he says, Coach, this is the best group Ghana can have. Well,
it's a difficult group.
Okay,
the best group. We sat here. The best group would have been the American group or the other group.
The
Mexico group.
Yeah.
Okay, Eddie OA says Otto Addo can't out coach Tuchel.
Oh, that is
factual.
That one is true, but you can manage the situation.
Can he out coach even the Croatian coach? I doubt.
Calvin Dax says we are dead if we don't win our game against Panama. We don't know if it's going to be the first game or not.
I don't think.
But
I think the first game will be either against the top ranked
teams. So
normally that is the way it is done.
He says we must win the first game and look for a draw in the other 2 games against England and Croatia. So that's his comments there. We move on to Calvin Dax, who says hoping the boys do magic with this bad technical team. Yeah.
No, that's true. I mean, because, and I've always made this point, like, if we are going to the World Cup based on player quality, based on the quality of players that we have, are you okay? Are you confident that we can progress from the group?
I'm not okay in midfield. I'm not okay.
But when it comes to, so that's player quality. But what about technical team?
I'm not okay at all.
So between the player quality and the technical quality, the player quality is the lesser of the 2 evils. So it is clear that the reason why we are all shaking and we all have concerns is because of the technical team, not necessarily because of the player quality. Though we have some concerns when it comes to the full-back positions. But all in all, we have a very solid team. Because at the end of the day,
don't say very solid.
I
don't think it's a very solid team.
Coach, see,
wing backs, there's a problem. Midfield, there's a problem.
No, In terms of names and forms and pedigree, yes, we have a very solid team. Because
a team would have been termed very solid when your defensive unit is proper. Going to a major tournament, there has to be a foundation, and the foundation should be on your defensive unit. That defend right back, left back, massive problem here. You've always been saying, and in midfield, we can only rely on one player as we speak. It's only about Thomas Partey as we speak now. And that, in my view, is another huge problem that we need to fix right. You see why I've always been saying that? The fact that we didn't qualify for this AFCON. Look, let me tell you something. Morocco, the AFCON will punch holes in their team, no matter how good they think their team is. So will it do to Senegal. It will do the same to Algeria, to Egypt, to Tunisia. It will do the same to Cote d'Ivoire. It will do the same to almost all the teams that will not be, or that are going to be at the AFCON, that have also qualified for the World Cup. To the World Cup. And then they will use that to patch up and fix. In our case, DR Congo, we all expect them to qualify from that playoff. All things being equal.
They will meet the winner of New Caledonia and Jamaica.
And that playoff will be played in March. So they are going to the AFCON now. If they are a bit more deficiency in their team, the coach will use the AFCON to fix it.
And there are more players coming to their pool.
To join the pool.
Who are from Belgium and France.
They are coming because they are welcoming them. They are certifying their nationalization into becoming.
And just to on that point, the fact that they are playing the AFCON means that, see the problem that we have, people are saying, oh, they are just coming in for the World Cup. They don't have that problem. You can bring that player, they go and play for the AFCON, and then you can say based on their performances at the AFCON, you then select the team. So it creates, it helps in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, Stephy Mavididi, the teammate of Jordan and Jordan. Yeah,
he's coming to Congo.
Yeah, he's coming to Congo. He's of Congolese descent. And there's also another player, I can't remember his name. He's also in talks to come in. They are bringing as many as 5 players. They are in talks with as many as 5 players.
Yes, so to strengthen their team.
Enriching their team.
You see, but if you look at our team, we think that because somebody turns it back on us, we shouldn't call the person again. May I completely disagree with that thing. Look, we are not going there to play.
Who cared about his patriotism?
And one thing I'd like to add, if we do bring in those 2 players, especially the 2 key players, Eddie Nketiah and Callum Hudson-Odoi.
No, me Eddie Nketiah, forget about him. For me, it's Rome JD Uso Drew, the goalkeeper for AZ Alkmaar.
We need him.
And potentially Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, my point is, once they be motivated, they might be motivated to play against England. And
they're down asset it.
Exactly.
It's asset. Look, chat. This is a chat. Ato. Chat nato.
Imagine Callum Hudson-Odoi getting shunned by England, playing for Ghana. Imagine the level of motivation.
You see, so we should put look. I mean,
they haven't been shunned by England. Just on that point.
Been shunned by England.
No, they haven't performed well enough to be called to guarantee themselves a place in that team. If he had scored 30 goals last season, he would be playing for England right now.
He wouldn't have been called up. I mean, Callum Hudson-Odoi's performance last season.
He hasn't been better than the wingers.
He wasn't even considered.
He's not better than the wingers they have. He's not better than the wingers they have.
England put that Newcastle winger, what is the name?
Anthony Gordon.
Gordon, and the ball is put into space. He and Ali Duseido.
Seidu they get raw speed. He will feel match.
If you run, Seidu on tom. The point is that
he's rushed with the stack.
We find ourselves in the group very difficult, but if we can put our acts together, I think we should be able to stand up and be counted. Look, I think England will top the group. I think they will top the group without a doubt. Now, our game against Croatia will determine whether we qualify to the next stage or not.
To an extent.
Yes.
Because third place
is a bit massageable. Because if you can end up having 3 points, you'll be one of the best third place. But 3 points, in my view, will not be enough. 4 will be enough to take you to the next stage. Okay? 4 will be enough to take you to the next stage. So that game against Croatia and Panama is key. We cannot afford to lose against Croatia. We can't. say that come what may, we are beating Panama.
They will beat them.
We are beating Panama. But if Utuado and Co cannot beat Panama,
then they should be
silent. They shouldn't come, but stay there. Don't come.
If they come,
then they shouldn't come.
Don't come.
Because enjoy Trump's hospitality.
That is it.
Sacked in America, like.
So if we beat Panama and we go and make, but I want to see who we play first, because normally in the games like this, you have the lowest ranked place team being asked to play its first game against the top ranked team. If that is the case, our first game is against England. We may be going to our second game having lost that game. And that is where the tension and the pressure will come.
I think also key from that is the result from the Croatia-Panama game. So if Croatia go and draw a Panama, then we
will beat Panama.
Boys in that
everybody will beat Panama.
Should be.
Yes,
everybody should beat Panama.
It come down to the goals.
It's just like Chad in the World Cup.
Yeah, qualified.
Exactly.
Everyone
should beat them.
Yes, but we didn't beat them away from home. We didn't beat them. We ended up drawing with them.
They had only 1 point, and that point they took from us. So that's the point some of us are making. And you see, we should sharpen our goal scoring technique, because it will count. It will count, and the number of goals conceded will count. All these things will count in determining who the best third place team is going to be. Okay, so look, fix your defense. The fullbacks position in particular, we need to fix them. In midfield, try that Yurinchi boy with Thomas Partey.
Caleb Yurinchi.
And let's define clear roles for him. Clear roles for him. He shouldn't be jumping all over the place, because he'll be playing with the controller. He should listen to simple directions and instructions from Thomas Partey. If he listens, his work becomes very easy. And then we need to be able to score more goals.
Well, we were the highest scorers in the qualifiers. So
that is Mole qualifiers. Going to the World Cup proper, we need to be able to score more goals.
It's not as Mole as Croatia's qualifies. No, it's not as Mole as Croatia's qualified. Croatia played against Faroe Islands and Gibraltar. We can't compare that to Madagascar. Czech Republic is solid, but we also played against solid teams. We also played against Mali. We played against Madagascar.
We didn't saw our AFCON qualifying group.
We didn't play against Faroe Islands.
Madagascar is not a solid team in Africa.
But they are better than Faroe Islands. They are better than Gibraltar. Croatia played against Gibraltar. They played against Faroe Islands.
Axial, Madagascar. About Zinkutin, why your African football team, Madagascar is better than Faroe Island. Madagascar is better. What is your African football?
No, they haven't done anything that on the African scene. Because on the African scene, the level of competition on the average is higher than the one in Europe.
It's not. Seriously, we're football people. Sometimes we sit here, we say, "Oh, based on this and this team will win and this team will win." We watch the football and it doesn't happen like that.
No, but
we can't sit here and assume just out of it.
No. Wait,
have you seen Faroe Islands play against Madagascar?
No. I haven't seen them play, but I've seen them go up against other teams. And we have seen Madagascar go up against other teams.
And you made the point about they are going up against other teams that they are more evenly.
Yes, Madagascar, the last AFCON, where did they reach? Didn't they qualify beyond the group stage?
We and them all go out.
Gibraltar and Faroe Islands. If you put Division 2 team, the team that beat Accra House of Oak in the MTN FA Cup, True Life Academy, they will spank Gibraltar and Faroe Islands.
That is oversimplification.
I'm not oversimplifying. It is based on the quality I have seen.
I think the point is that
said it. The Black Stars, as it stands today, is no better team than this Croatian team.
It's arguable.
Why is the Black Stars ranked?
No, let me go through the
don't forget.
No. Let me go through the Croatian team.
Stop looking on paper.
But what am I going to base on?
Wait.
They haven't played each other. So what am I going to base on?
Why are you basing it at all?
Wait. Don't look at. Let's compare the two teams.
I'm looking at the names.
The fact of the matter is that you are so keen on this Black Stars team that have been overly shambolic in their last 3 tournaments. You are vouching for them. You have to be measured. This Croatian team, with the experience they've got and the experience and the quality they've got in their team, look, you can look at their performances against. Look, they've always showed up against the big boys. Facts. In the last tournament, it took Argentina to knock them out.
Yes.
Facts. It took a little Messi Argentina to knock them out of the World Cup.
Away? That's 3 years ago.
They've always been better than this our current blasters.
3 years ago.
But have they not moved on?
Ago.
What are we
no,
doing?
But
speaking like that is on the premise.
Just close your eyes. Forget about the name. Close your eyes. A team that has Iñaki Williams, the captain of Athletic Bilbao, a team that has Antoine Semenyo playing for AFC Bournemouth and scoring goals and doing well, even though his form has dropped off. A team that has Thomas Partey in it, a team that has Mohamed Kudus in it. And you are telling me that it's not better than this Croatian team that has what? Aside Josko Vadio, he's the only top player in their team. Ivan Perisic. Ivan Perisic is a good player, but he's not Ivan Perisic 5 years ago. Who is there? Pasalic of Atalanta. Why? We don't play Pasalic of Atalanta.
They will all play first level for the Black Stars. They will all come and play. They will all play first level in the Black Stars.
Me, like, even that aside, even that
speaking
aside,
is Edem Kai.
Even that aside, if you ask me, a lot of other things go into it.
They are better unit than
that's the point I'm trying to make.
They are better group of players than our team.
When we see our team play and we see the Croatian team play tactically, do we look as good as them?
We don't.
Do we have like a synchronized way we play? Do we even know, as of now that we are going to the World Cup, do we know for sure that this is our starting 11?
Or even this is our style.
This is our style of play. Like, there are a lot of questions we have to ask ourselves, and sometimes we have to be really, really reflective and be honest about where we are as a national team at the moment. I don't think that player for player we have bad quality within our ranks. No, don't get me wrong. But when you put us together as a unit against most of the teams at the World Cup, do we look strong enough to beat them?
Look, stay on that point. This is tournament football. You play just a few matches, you get to the final.
You recover every 2 days, but every 2 days you are coming. Every 2 days you are coming.
I mean, there are more teams now, so there's more space. But the same point.
You talk about obviously our deficiencies in terms of coaching against Croatia and England, especially. But are you not certain? And tournaments are full of moments that define those games and define the actual tournament. Are you not saying? Don't you think that players like Kudus Mohamed, Antoine Semenyo, Jordan Ayew can make those moments count against even better teams collectively like England and Croatia?
If I can just come on that quickly, I understand what you are saying, but we've seen these same players playing under this coach for the Black Stars, and they have not been able to bring the best out of them. We see them scoring in Europe all the time, and they get really excited. Hey, there was a weekend where I think almost all the Black Stars players scored, and we're so excited.
Semenyo has played 22 23 games for the Black. Why should I go? A group,
and they came in. That's when they went. That's when they went to draw 1-1 with Chad. On the back of all that positive form. Let's be honest. But like, it's not about we don't have the quality.
Yeah.
But let's be honest about what we're able to produce as a footballing team and nation. It hasn't been up to standard what other people have been able to do with less material.
Last World Cup,
Croatia, we had Vida and things in their back line, and they made a World Cup final. Sometimes about more than that.
Kudus steps up. We win against South Korea by 3-2.
Yes,
that was the only moment in that tournament where a Black Stars player stepped up and took the goal.
Even to be fair, if you didn't take care of yourself,
I mean, Andrea, you was a penalty away from a moment against Uruguay. Exactly. He didn't score. Fair, but we have.
So, isn't it a guarantee that with the quality we have, once those players step up, they can make a difference against
but you see,
you can make moments, but over a whole game it can't carry you. And you need to play well to be able to make moments that win you the game. If you don't play well during the game, it doesn't.
That's the exact point I was going to
help you. You can't stay in the game to enable
to get those moments where those players can show that quality. The unit needs to be functioning well.
The foundation of the team, we don't have a proper foundation. There's no style. Which at this stage, having been with this team, go come. When our players are passing the ball, we shouldn't be looking.
Yeah.
The system and the movement should be such that you need not look to pass.
Synchronization.
We are not being able to. We are not in sync with ourselves. And the point I'm making is that the most powerful department of the game, as we speak today, is one of our weakest. In midfield, this Black Stars midfield. Look, you think teams are not watching our team? They know the importance of Thomas Partey. There's a reason why when the man doesn't show up in any of our games, we tend to struggle. So if I'm the coach of the opposite team, you don't only eclipse him, you even block the channel to him. Force your backline who can't pass the ball to pass. 10 overs, then when they came, they are coming to us. We need to synchronize all of this.
If I was a coach, I don't think I would really struggle planning for Ghana with the amount of data available across the last 2 to 3 tournaments. It's clear.
Why didn't we qualify for the AFCON? Partey missed about 50 to 60% of the games. That's why we couldn't qualify. So the point some of us are making is that we may have the quality as individual, but as a block, look, if there's anything you don't take away from an Eastern European country, is the fact that they are always a very difficult unit to crack. We've seen them over the years. In major tournaments, when they come, they have a proper rehearsed strategy. And they've always been blessed with good tactical brains. Were we not overly going to that side of Europe? Where did we bring Djokovic from? Where do we bring Milovan from? So, you see, they are not only a formidable group, but the coaching there is top notch. Who is their coach? Who is their coach? Is it not the same coach who has been coaching them for years? That same man. Look at his level of. He took them to the finals of the World Cup in 2018. He's been given the responsibility to build a new team. You see, I was mentioning that. Who do you know? They don't have known players.
No, but who do you know?
But they are very, very solid as a block.
No, and Croatia, there are two things that we are talking. I'm saying player quality wise, we match up and we stack up.
But we're going there with the same coach.
It is the coaching
are we not going there with the same coach?
No, I'm saying that player quality wise. That's why I said that. Close your eyes and mention the name. Forget about the name Ghana. I said quality wise, we have it. But the reason why we are all shaking about this World Cup is not because of our players. It's because of the coach.
But I think people as being shaky about the coaching is very well warranted, because those are the little lines that decide some of these games, especially when it gets to the very, very competitive part of the tournament. Your coaching might win you a game.
I'm shaking not only because of the coach, but I'm shaking because of the performance of some of the players in the Black Star jersey. Inaki Williams, how many goals has he scored for Ghana?
Yes, one.
Antoine Semenyo, 22, 23 games. How many goals has he scored for Ghana? Ekol. Look at the performances of our laterals. Nkoye. It's not good. So I'm not only shaking about the coach, but some of the individual players in the team, the way they tend to take the bull by the horn, it's been substandard. Hugely substandard. So you must be worried going to such a major tournament. Look, we play against this English team. We don't get a result. How many times have you not seen this Black Stars team crumple when there's pressure to go and deliver?
And Otuado. Several
times. Severally. When we lost to Italy in 2006, we needed to beat which team?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. That was our next game.
But look, we could sit back and say Michael Edson will handle it, Ali Montari, Stephen Appiah and Kodo will handle the pressure. And they went in there. Within the first 2 minutes, baby, everybody come now. Let's enjoy your game. You understand? When we went to 2010, look at the quality and look at the coaching we had at the time. That Kudwa Samoa, Ojibo na Boko. When Kudwa Samoa picks up the ball in 2010, you could see Kevin Springboard. You could see they were working. There was the chemistry. That chemistry between or among the players were there for us.
So we could capitalize on the moments we got in the game because the foundation was strong.
Because a time will come where we need to defend, and they see our team will be properly diagnosed, and they'll see that Gideon Mensah left Nkoye, Ali Dusedu Nkoye. So when they stretch and they are coming at us, and at the World Cup, Otto will go and say that he will play a back five. If you play a back five and then these wing backs, who are going to be the wing backs? Ali Dusedu, he cannot cross, he cannot dribble, he cannot recover, he cannot tackle. Problem galore. So from now on, their responsibility is to decide. You see, anytime I make these points, it hurts. My heart hurts that we will not be at the AFCON.
Because the AFCON, so it's a perfect place.
It was a perfect place to see all these things and rectify these problems before going to the World Cup. Today, we are sitting here today. The draw has just been completed. It's England, it's Croatia. I'm not even mentioning Panama. It will come down to those two. I think the English will beat us. True. I think they will beat us. Now, when it comes to Croatia,
just on the England part, if you think we like obviously there's a lot of pressure on us, but there will be a whole meltdown if they also beat us.
Oh, yes.
So I think we also need to play slightly
into that. Exactly. Yeah.
They will beat us. It's Thomas Tuchel against Otuado. Tuchel no Otuado.
Mismatch. English players typically don't deal with pressure very well.
Fact, not in recent
very valid point.
Look, in their last 3 major tournaments,
that's fine.
They've raised that.
Yeah.
They've reached the World Cup.
Let's in the last 4 major tournaments, semi-finals, Euros final, back-to-back.
Yeah, Euro back-to-back finals.
World Cup quarter final last time.
You understand? So
I mean, I think their problem is they haven't been able to hold on to advantages. So even when they've gone ahead, they went ahead in the semi-final against Croatia.
That's why they've gone for Thomas Tuchel. That's why they've gone for Thomas Tuchel.
Shout out
Totality. They've gone for Totality. You understand? They brought him so that he will fix that. And truth be told, that the team he's building for them, look, Foden has gotten matured. Bellingham, look, Declan Rice, they've all grown into some level of stature. So you needed a proper technical brain to walk into that dressing room and stamp his authority. And that's exactly what Thomas Tuchel has done. Can we say the same for the Black Stars? No, we can't say the same.
Yeah, definitely.
So beat Panama. Make sure
beat them well.
My problem will be that maybe our last game of the group will be against Panama, or our second game will be against Panama. I'm very certain that I stand to be corrected, but most likely we'll play England first. Once we play England, it's likely that we'll play Panama, then we'll go and play Croatia. I don't want us going to that last game where it's a must win at all costs.
Yeah.
These guys, including the coach, they will all collapse. Especially the coach. To direct them as to what they should be doing and how they should go about doing it. That is going to be what? Hugely problematic.
I'm just hoping that this is the tournament that if he's going to surprise us, he does.
He better.
I'm like that's genuinely the hope I have, because if I'm to go by anything that we've seen from him so far, I'm not really too excited.
And just on coach's point, and I hate to keep using it against him, but that moment was it against Nigeria where he ran onto the pitch after we had equalized a match we should be winning. I think that also tells you
eventually we got beat.
Yes, so that is him also. That was his way of releasing the stress that he felt in that moment, and that was not even one of the most high pressured moments that would have come with being the manager of a national team like Ghana. So if he's able to get to the World Cup and then it gets into the last game and then the players can sense that even you are a little I think he also needs to work on his temperament and his body language when he's on the touchline.
We need to put aside all egos. You see, egos, Nyamano. If there's any player out there who is Ghanaian and can make this team better, you see, that is the way we should be looking at it. Not to say somebody turn you down, therefore turn him down, therefore don't bring it up. What is that? If there's any player out there who is Ghanaian and can come in and do a decent job, make this team better, please invite the player.
Coach, I just wanted to ask, in your experience as a coach, how often have you brought in a player who was much better than everyone else who was in the squad, and how often do the players who are already in the squad react to when you bring someone who they know is definitely coming to take my position?
No player has got a bona fide right in any team. The position is not yours. I, the coach, I decide whether you play or not. And every healthy team should encourage competition. After all, the work that they did, they've been paid for. It's a new page. This has got nothing to do with what you did during the qualifiers. If that was the case, Otuado himself shouldn't have been at the World Cup in 2006. True or false? He played only one qualifier. Only one. A call.
That's a really fair point.
Only one qualifier, but he went there. I would have taken Laie Kingston. For me, when I look at that team, I felt that he took the position of Laie Kingston. What was Laie Kingston on doing? He got himself recorded whilst playing for Ghana, and he would have missed the first 2 games. How many games did we play in the World Cup? We played 4. Per Laie Kingston commitment to the Black Stars. Didn't he deserve to play in the 3rd and the final game we played against Brazil? He should have been there. After all, Otuado said when we took him, he lost his position to Hamini Dramani and Razak Pinpoint and Co. So he only came in the game against Czech Republic. Was it Czech Republic? Czech Republic or so. That was the game he came and played.
After we were leading by 2 goals.
After we were leading by 2 goals. So he did not even impact our team. But because the tournament was to be played in Germany and he's there, let's take. And then we left Laie Kingston behind. So it's not
like he didn't get Ronaldo treatment.
No, he didn't get Ronaldo treatment.
He didn't get that.
You understand? We left him behind. This, at the time too, was one of our best midfielders. Somebody who contributed a lot to the Black Stars qualifying. I would have taken him. But if the coaches think he would, so be it. So it's not about what you did during the qualifiers. We are starting a new slate.
Yeah, okay. So I'll come back to you, but we need to take some of the comments from our listeners and viewers. They've been sending in WhatsApp comments, so we'll go through them in a bit. So I'll start with, good evening, guys. This is Starboy from La Paz. Please tell coach that I just checked our first opponents and we are playing Panama first. England in the second match and last game Croatia. We'll check on that and bring that to you.
And confirm.
Yeah, we'll check on that and bring
if
that
we play
to
Panama first, I think that's great. If you ask me, we can set the tone for ourselves by winning.
I think that's not great. I think we should get a game in before we play a game against a team like Canada.
Oh no, I mean, but that's, I think the point makes, at least get used to winning. It's not like we start the tournaments and then lose. You don't win your next game, example, and then you're going into your final game now needing to.
For example, unless it is a change. Because I remember in 2026 we were in the same 206 were in pot 4, and Italy at the time was the number 1 ranked team in the world. Yeah. We played them first. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Even again in the last ended World Cup, who did we play first?
I think we played Portugal first.
They were the highest ranked team in our group, and we were the least ranked team in the group, and then we played them first. You understand? So maybe, I don't know.
I think
going to 2010, we're not the lowest ranked team in the group. So we played Milovan Chrono.
Coach is right, actually. Yeah. So according to the one swing here, it says we are playing England Ghana is on the 17th of June 2026.
Yes, that is the game we are playing.
When was the second game?
That is the game, because normally because everything is done to favor the top ranked team in the group. Because like we also, from the way the draw has been done, FIFA want all the top ranked team to do what? To progress as far as they can.
Without meeting each other.
So mostly you play the top ranked team first. So FIFA will prefer they winning and then securing whatever they've planned for the tournament.
So the first game in Group L is England Panama on the 17th of June.
Okay.
Then
England Panama.
That means Panama should be the lowest ranked team in the group. If I'm
no, we are not. We are.
Panama was in pot 3.
Panama was pot 3. Yeah.
Yes. Let's check and verify that.
Let me get this clear.
I think
see.
I think I return to the issue, but just on Ghana in terms of the group right now, I think that if you look at where some of the other African nations landed, like with Morocco getting in a group with Brazil, as good as England are, they also, just based on certain factors in the way they play, they also give you a chance against them. I don't know how different they would look under Thomas Tuchel, but I don't know how different they would look under Thomas Tuchel, but I would fancy our chances of going up against them and at least being able to give them a game. Just because of the same problems we're talking about, they also seem to have a little uncertainty.
One of my bosses have sent me something all the way from the US. Let me look at it.
They also have a bit of uncertainty in terms of the players that they're using. So, although Kane and Saka are guaranteed to start, in their midfield is also slightly uncertain. On their left wing, they still have to pick.
Certain to start.
Oh, Declan Rice is start.
I mean, Rice is certain to start, fair, but I don't know if Anderson has played really well, so he probably starts in that midfield. But beyond him, I don't know who else is a set guarantee. And if you go much further back, it's more uncertain. Like they had Jet Spence come in, they've had Nico O'Reilly try as fullback. They also have minutes inconsistent. The thing is, they have games. I think they also don't have a tournament like the way AFCON is, so they will also have to now use their final batch of games.
I think I've just received something from one of my big men in the States, and he's saying that on the 17th of June is England, Croatia, and then Ghana, Panama, and then on the 23rd of June is Croatia, Panama, then England, Ghana.
Okay.
So England will be our second group game.
We'll clear that up and then bring our listeners and
then
correcting
our last game, per what I have been sent here, is Ghana, Croatia.
Okay,
see, that is why
we'll do our own independent checks and then bring it to you. So let's go back to the comments. Seth from Botiano says African qualifiers are tense and difficult. They are more difficult than European qualifiers. The likes of Faroe Islands.
So I've received a message from Amin Ushado.
Yeah.
Amin Ushado to say that June 17. Aminu thanks. He said England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama.
Okay.
Then England, Ghana on the 23rd, Panama, Croatia, and then Ghana will be playing Croatia in our last game on the 27th of
Panama.
June.
Okay,
so Aminu, thanks, Charlie.
I received to have a skeleton of a schedule for the Black Stars. Let's go back to the comments. He says the likes of Faroe Islands, Gibraltar, Andorra concede 11-13 goals at ease. Teams made up of carpenters and masons can never be compared to Lesotho in Africa.
Albania. Add Albania to that list. Albania, San Marino.
Liechtenstein.
Albania, San Marino, Liechtenstein.
Those are about half of Ronaldo's international goals. I don't think we should.
I'm not disputing that. I don't have a problem with that.
I see what you did there.
I don't have a problem with that. He has scored his goals. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is when you strike the average, the level of competition in the African qualifiers is higher than the European qualifiers.
Which is
if you take Mali, if you take Mali to Europe, they will be making the playoffs. If you put Mali in this European qualifiers, look at some of the countries that made it to the European qualifiers.
This Mali team has been bad over the years.
But they are still better than Albania.
When you are mentioning teams who could go to Europe and stake a claim, don't be mentioning teams without pedigree on the continent. Mali has got no pedigree on the Africa. They've not even played second in of the Africa competition.
But at least they finished third in some previous AFCON
bronze.
But they are better than Montenegro, which is a solid team in Europe.
You are only mentioning Montenegro. I can Niger friends the Chad. I don't know. Europe no more completely.
Niger goes to Europe and beats Albania.
It's not true.
Niger goes to Europe and beats
because
Niger goes to Europe and beats Faroe Islands.
Until Niger defeated the Black Stars, would you have said this?
No, I wouldn't have said this. The African qualifiers, it really buttresses my point that the African qualifiers are way more competitive than the European qualifiers.
Admittedly so. Let's admit that. But don't use that to judge this Croatian team. Okay. They are a better team than our team. On their day, they are more dangerous.
I think we've had our say on this.
When the Black Stars is up to what we expect of them, we can take them on. But until that, it will be difficult to say we are going to beat them with ease. It's very difficult.
Let me continue the message because we have so many.
Not Macedonia.
I think the fixtures have favored us.
Yes,
we can beat Panama. If we Otuado, yes, Otuado.
We put ourselves in a very strong
position.
Playing against Latvia.
Because if we can beat Panama in that first group game, Edwin, we go against England. That will motivate these boys for them to do something. Although I still do maintain that Thomas Tuchel may worry Otuado and his entire technical team. You see, the sort of work that is now going to be done on the Black Stars, it's not easy. It's not easy. Everybody, we have to now go to work. How are we going to assess this English team now? How are we going to assess the Croatian team? How are we going to assess them? It's very difficult.
Very difficult. Let's move on with our messages. Good evening to the best sports crew in the universe. This from St. Pablo in Chado. He says, it's been a while. I just imagine Saka facing Gideon Mensah and my head just burst. I just hope Derek Cohn is ready, fit and firing for the World Cup.
Yeah,
that's what he says. So, Ejaya from North K says, Otoado should find a way. The same way other teams are going to find a way to score us. Period. Period.
That is it. You should still come and coach this team. And now, team poster now. You see, it's about my way and no other way. If your way is working, we all buy into your way. But if it's not working, you have to adjust and tweak so that we bring the way that works. That is the way it is. If your way is working, Otto Tezic, Otto Klopp, Otto Tezic, now you're supporting, now you're DH. Me like this, I'm praying God that I'll be in the States to watch, fully dressed in my Ghanaian replica attire. You cannot allow me to hide that. Not against Panama, not against England, not against Croatia. We are going further and further into the tournament. Nobody will accept any shambolic performance from anybody. Nobody will accept that. Nobody.
Okay, so this is from Sir Cabis in Manchester, UK. He says he's at work watching us on YouTube with his British friends. And after watching the draw, they are saying Ghana will qualify with them. So a lot of the people saying Ghana will qualify.
I hope Semenyo will start scoring. At least we need him to score in all the friendly games that will be lined up. At least if he can score 2 or 3 more goals in for them. You see, he needs to get scoring goals for the Blacks. He needs to get used to that. He needs to get scoring goals for the Black Stars. Because if he doesn't do that, we are in big trouble.
Okay, so more comments. Someone saying there's no way Gibraltar can beat Madagascar. Faroe Islands can't beat Madagascar.
Madagascar idea.
So Arafat Phobia from Tema Newtown says, good evening. Ghana's group is difficult for me because Otoado is Ghana's coach. Ghana Black Stars, we have a coaching problem, but as Ghanaians, I wish the Black Stars good luck.
Exactly.
Greetings to Alhaji Abu Lamini and Abdul Salam Yakubu. So we will play Panama first, England, and then Croatia in our last match.
Yeah.
Through ball from Cole Palmer, then Hurricane. Hey, Yehoah. Obake. Welcome.
Asemabo.
Okay, so Lambert from Dodoa. Good evening, team. It's a very difficult group. There won't be anything like magic in this group. The most prepared teams will qualify, and I don't think Ghana is one of those teams. Who can our coach in this group? Coach England v Ghana. England v Ghana is our first game. Rio said it. So that's it. Tell coach we will qualify, but it will be difficult. Dramani inside KJB. We move on to
Charlie.
Please.
We needed to go to the AFCON. We should have been at this AFCON. Oh, Charlie.
One of your guys is interestingly getting us angry because he couldn't score a goal in 2 matches against Japan and South Korea, but we are a very solid team. Maybe you mean solid 2 out of 10. Don't forget, Panama is better than you according to FIFA rankings. Let's not.
That's the point I was making.
ourselves.
That is the point I was making. They are highly ranked than us. So look, it's not going to be easy, but we are very capable. But we need to sort out some of the deficiencies in our team. And I've looked at this Black Stars team. I've properly assessed this team. Otuado will have to be very clear in his thoughts. You see, if you are going to a major tournament and you are the coach, you need to be very clear in your thoughts. Because if you are uncertain as to what should be done, how it should be done, when it should be done, then you are going to create a bit of confusion among the playing body. Because if your thoughts are that clear, the players will buy into that, and when they go out there, they know that, look, within my role, this is what is expected of me. This is what I'm demanded to do, and I'll go ahead and do it. But when you are not certain, as at now, we don't know what our strong, because look, when we go a back five, it tends to take something away from our team in the attacking sense. And I look forward to the day that this Black Stars team under Otuado will win games from coming from a losing position. It's key. We've never experienced that before. Maybe once against Mali in Mali. Agreed? I stand to be corrected on that. Maybe once against Mali in Mali. But apart from that, any game for which we've considered first.
Cape Verde,
we either draw or lose the game.
We went down by 2-0.
No, this was against Mali.
Is it Central African Republic rather?
Yes.
In Kumasi.
Yes.
We went down by 2-0 and then came back.
No, we scored first. No. In that 4-3 game, we had the first penalty. Jordan scored, then they equalized, then they came back.
But they did take the lead.
Take the lead. They took the lead. You understand? So the point I'm making is that we need to get used to, because I foresee that happening in the World Cup. I foresee that happening in the World Cup. And that is temperament. You have to build it. It's built over time. Again, why the AFCON would have been important. As we speak, the Côte d'Ivoire, the Egypt, the Algeria, the Morocco, they'll look at this AFCON and they'll realize that, look, this is a very, very good game. Recently, we just had, I think, Tunisia play Brazil, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brazil, as if they knew. That friendly game against Tunisia will give them a fair idea of what the Morocco will present to them, because they all play the same style, although the Moroccan team is a better team as a group and as quality. They are better than
Tunisia at the moment. Yeah.
At the moment. But Brazil, Carlo Ancelotti now has a fair idea. Very fair idea as to how to go about his things. So if you look at what has happened, we need to quickly, I'm sure the people at the FA will get that in place. We need to get at least some country from the
zones that
the zones of what? Panama, from Europe, Eastern Europe, somebody whose style of football is similar to that of Croatia. And of course, currently, if you look at the English team, maybe if the French team were to call us for a friendly game, because they also have Senegal, a West African country, we should accept and play. You understand? Because Senegal is in the same group as what? France, isn't it? Yeah, so we should line up our friendly games to get us to have a fair idea on the opposition we'll be meeting at the World Cup. For me, I pray God that laterals are sorted, the midfield is fixed, and we score a bit more goals. We cannot have the situation where the system of our team does not bring the best out of our very influential players. We are still struggling on how to use Inaki Williams. We are struggling on how to get the best out of Antoine Semenyo when he comes to the Black Stars. We are struggling to find a partner for Thomas Partey in midfield. These are fundamentals that needs to be solved quickly before the tournament, because we cannot go into that tournament not knowing what to do, hoping to go and see whether it works in the tournament. What happens if it doesn't work? It means we are in big trouble. Okay, let's bring everybody on board. Let's open up the pool, not to bring in anybody at all, but to make sure that if there's any player out there, Adam, that will make this team better. I've never seen the situation where we are going to a major tournament, there's a player who will make us better. And you say, if Hodgson Odoi will make us better, bring him in. Bring him in. And stop saying that because he turned his back on. What were you expecting from him? That the moment you approached him, he accepts? He should be given the opportunity to say no. So do you. You should also be given. But at the end of the day, the key underlying factor here is that, would he make our team better? If yes, you robe him in. Fundamental.
Okay, coach. Let's get to a few more messages because I want us to go through each of the groups and see what your thoughts are on those groups. But Neymar from Spintex says, "Good evening, Sports Panorama." And you're almost right. It's Panorama. He says, "I feel the group L, letter L, says it all. We are going to get some serious lashes." Okay, so someone says, "Chale, now we have every reason to invite the foreign players that are ready to play because we are going to face quality teams at the World Cup." Good evening, City Sports crew. This is a very tough draw for Ghana because England and Croatia are very good and have very quality players. Otoado and his Black Stars have a lot of work to do if we want to progress out of the group stage. Big show listening inside Amasaman. Kelvin from Ashaiman, we hope for fitness for all our players. Nitojo from Tema Newtown. Can Coach Otoado win against Panama, Croatia, England? That's the question we are all asking. Kobe Bading from Dansuman. Some of these European countries of late are just properly coached, especially Croatia, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Austria. They are not exceptional compared to us.
Can I just comment on that point? That's I feel like we keep rehashing the same points, but that's why it lets me down about Otoado, because as we see players getting better, don't we? There are certain players who, when you see them playing now, they are much better than the player. Someone like Vinicius. The same thing happens with managers. It's just less obvious to our eye. Sometimes we have more pertaining or more how would I say? But there are certain issues, more pertaining issues at certain times that make it look like certain managers have either had really good careers or they haven't been able to perform at certain teams. But I think if you look at someone like Arteta, I think managers over time do get better.
Exactly.
If you give this team to Arteta, this team that Arteta has now to Arteta when he first came, he does not go anywhere near the league with them because he himself was not at a level yet where he could get them to compete for these things. And that's why I still think that as good as Otoado has become, I think that's where we are still letting ourselves down because we don't have someone who has enough experience of these big tournaments or these. And it's not even just about World Cup because he's been at a World Cup before, but it's about he hasn't managed on Champions League nights. He hasn't managed in a league season where he needed to he hasn't been in pressure situations as a manager. So I don't know how he's going to react in these situations. And to make that his first experience of that to be a World Cup
is crazy.
He didn't go to an AFCON, and then his next experience of that is another World Cup. Oh, that's
and when it's simplified that these European teams are not they're not exceptional, they are just coached well. It's really the difference.
That's the point I was going to.
It's really the difference.
Sometimes
it's not they are just coached well. It's not sometimes. These tournaments are won. A lot of people speak about how great Messi was during Argentina's run in the World Cup, but I don't think enough credit is given to Argentina's manager.
He coached the team.
He coached the team in a crazy way. He almost had like a plan for. He didn't repeat the plan for every single game. It wasn't Argentina. That's how we set up and we play every single game. You could tell he had mapped out strategies for every game they played. And sometimes it goes under the radar because of how some of the individual performances came up on the day. But that's when you need those players too. Because when the tactics get to a point, sometimes the differential factor is those magic players. But the springboard needs to be strong. And do we have that strong springboard? I don't think so.
And sorry, just to finish up, just on coach's other point, I think we need to develop a culture where as soon as we get to the World Cup, we are content with the players we have. I don't want it to become like an England situation where it's like as soon as we see that maybe, if Hudson-Odoi was there, he would have done this. Or if this guy was there, he would have done it.
No.
And I understand what you are saying. Before the World Cup, I get that. We need to get the best players as possible. But once we get to the World Cup, if we have Hudson-Odoi there and let's say Joseph Penso didn't make it, we don't want the situation where it's like how the Ghana supporters are like, if Joseph Penso was there instead of this player, he would have done this. Or if this player was there, and the reason they are not there is the reason why we are not winning. I think we need to avoid the blame culture now. Try and get the best players that we can, and once we get there, and even if the head coach is still Otoado, we support all of them and we see how far this team can go. And if they can't go further, then we do the analysis and diagnosis and see, why didn't he work out? And then I think some of us feel we know the reasons already. Maybe the World Cup is what's going to make these reasons manifest for other people who are less uncertain about it to see the problems within the squad. And then we work on it going forward. But I don't want it to become a thing where it's like the one that's not here, the one that would have solved the problem, if that makes sense. It's a constant shift and change. Once this one is here, this guy would have worked. Once this guy is here, and I think we just need to have a different outlook on the national team.
Okay. Just before you ask the next question, are we certain about where we'll be based? or
we're
that?
not certain
Please,
yet.
I mean, we shall are we certain about where we'll be based? If you can update that.
We'll get to that in a bit. But coach, I want us to go through all the groups and see.
Okay, sure.
What will happen in these groups. So Group A: Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and the winner of the playoff between Czech Republic, Denmark, Ireland, and North Macedonia.
First of all, on the playoff,
yes,
I fancy Denmark. I fancy Denmark to be added to it.
Coach, before you get to that, we
Right.
have on the line City Sports editor Benjamin Nketiah, who is joining us from the US Embassy, where there was a watch party for the draw. Benjamin, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Edwin, and good evening to all the guys on the show and the listeners of the show as well.
Tell us about the atmosphere there. How did the US, everybody at the US Embassy celebrate or not, or otherwise, after the draw was made?
Well, as of now, the watch party has ended, and so most people are basically dispersing. But I can tell you for a fact that throughout the duration of the draw, Ghanaians were on tenterhooks for most parts. And I mean, for everybody who watched, you realize that we were one of the last teams to be drawn. And right up until the ball that contained Ghana was picked out, lots of the people in the room kept oohing and eyeing about whether we're going to join which particular group or not. And then we were eventually placed in the dreaded Group L. And I could tell you, you could feel there was a lot of oohs and ahs, like not the positive one, but in the negative sense. Like you could tell that a lot of people were dreading it and were not too happy with the draw. But then I feel like that immediately changed into some cautious optimism, if I can say that. A lot of people immediately felt that we have a few shortcomings in the team, and that if we get our act together, if we get the right quality coaching to match the ability or production levels of the players we have, I mean, who says that we can't dream? I mean, nobody's talking about dominating the group or blowing anybody away, but there's a feeling that we can sneak out of this group if we do our things right.
Well, have you got any thoughts from the people at the embassy on the United States, Canada, and Mexico hosting the World Cup? How do they feel about this big tournament coming to them, especially when the US isn't known as a huge football-loving country? What was the feeling about the World Cup being hosted in the US?
It's really general excitement, to be honest, and for the majority of the US nationals I spoke to, they seem really, happy about the fact that the tournament is coming to their country, and they don't even look at it as a purely football thing. They are looking at it as some kind of launch onto the sports world. You know, they've hosted it before in '94, but now, like, their football culture has come a little more full circle. They have like bigger players playing in their league now, i.e. Lionel Messi. So a lot of them feel like this is sort of a crowning moment for what has been happening in the MLS or the US in recent times. And also they view this as an opportunity to share their country, really. I spoke to a few of the Canadian nationals as well. They also kind of think that a lot of people don't know too much about their country, and most people's knowledge about their country is limited to a few popular cities. And so they look at this as an opportunity to open up culturally to the rest of the world, to be able to share what their countries have to offer in terms of not just football, but in terms of tourism, in terms of marketing. Like, there's a lot at stake here in terms of everything that you can gain from the World Cup. But the US especially, a lot of them are excited about being in the World Cup with Ghana again. And some people wanted us to be in the same group with Ghana, but now that we missed out on being in the same group with them, they still say that, you know what, we should get our act together so we can meet them down the line, because we have unfinished business. Remember, we have some history in the World Cup 2010 and I believe 2014. And so there's a lot between the two countries as far as the World Cup is concerned. Generally, I get the feeling that most people who came would have preferred, how do you call it, a more straightforward group, if I could put it like that. But you never know. I had a word with Tony Balfour. He said something interesting. I asked him about Ghana being put in a complicated group and whether he would have loved a more favorable group. And he literally asked me, what is a more favorable group? Because it's a World Cup, and almost every team that have qualified to be there believe that they have earned the right to be there. And so you might write off a certain team as a minnow. You might write off a certain team because they don't have a lot of global football pedigree. But what Saudi Arabia showed us in the last World Cup is that anything can happen. As Coach Nimli likes to say, football telling its own story. So if you probably don't want to be on the wrong side of football telling its own story, then you probably just need to dot your I's and cross your T's properly, because this is going to be Ghana's fifth World Cup. I mean, we are not novices at the World Cup anymore. We are not the kind of country that should be showing up just to participate. We should be showing up to be counted. So I think a lot of people are in between, in the middle of the pile, not swinging too far down the we should have gotten an easy group, not swinging too far. This group is too hard. Most people think that this is a manager go group.
Okay, so Ben, final question from me. One of the major talking points from tonight before the draw was U.S. President Donald Trump being awarded the Peace Prize, or the Peace Prize for his work in ensuring peace across the world. What was the general reaction from the people at the embassy to that award, if you saw anything?
I don't think I caught much regards to that particular one. I won't lie to you. I didn't catch much with regards to that, but just a few people dropping comments here and there. They just find it curious that the award would come at this particular time, but it would be hard for me to put like a finger on like general sentiment around it. But I just thought a few people found it very curious, especially since it's a pretty new creation and all of that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Benjamin Nketiah. Thank you for joining us. He was stationed at the U.S. Embassy, where there was a watch party for the FIFA World Cup Draw. Of course, the U.S., one of the three hosts of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Coach, coming back to you on your thoughts on Group A, where we see hosts Mexico and a few strong teams in there. What do you think is going to go on in that group?
To be honest, if you look at the permutations in that group, I think Mexico will qualify, because I think if you look at them, these guys, when they play at home, they are a completely different animal. I mean, we've watched them over the years, and I think they are a very, very good team on their home turf. So I expect them to qualify. And then, who else is in the group again?
South Africa, South Korea, and the winner of the playoff between Czech Republic, Denmark, Ireland, and North Macedonia.
I think if the Bafana were to show up like they've been doing in recent time, I expect them to compete for that second slot. So my first two pick here will be South Africa and Mexico to go through.
Okay, Manu, I want to come to you on Group B. We have Canada, the winner of the playoff between Bosnia and Herzegovina, Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, and then we have Qatar and then Switzerland. Who do you think is making it out of this group?
It's a tough group. I think in all things, I think Canada and Switzerland are probably looking at this more, slightly more excited, because I think Switzerland, they haven't been able to translate. I mean, they show up at tournaments, but then I think they haven't been able to go beyond that and impress at tournaments itself. I don't know if Canada would have made it to the World Cup if they were not qualified as a host, but they're all, just by nature of the fact that they're hosting it just for this tournament at least. They're not there solely based on sporting merit. So just looking at the group, I probably think Switzerland should probably win this. But I worry about Qatar. We spoke about Qatar, and obviously the last time they were in Canada's position, they didn't qualify on merit, and they, like you said, they performed well in the games, but they were not able to make it out of the group stage. They've gone to invest in is he a top level manager?
You can, yes, you can.
Yeah, I mean they've gone for one of the more prominent managers in Europe with the hope that they'll be able to change their fortunes, and clearly it's yielding results. They've been able to qualify for a World Cup, and once, like the point Ben was saying, like once you're in a World Cup, it's really hard to now say, oh, can I have easy teams until the end? So I think that Switzerland will probably be favorites, but Canada will also have a shout of either qualifying as second or going top themselves.
Adam, I want to come to you on Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland.
Brazil. Brazil don't convince me of late, so I don't know. Like, I feel like that group is really, really open, because I think Scotland puts in a great shift to eventually make it to the tournament. I mean, on paper, obviously, I think the favorites are Brazil and Morocco. The pedigree they've both displayed in the last few years from tournament to tournament, but I just feel like Scotland has something for me in there. I don't know. I feel like Scotland just can. Scotland are the people who can probably shake it up in the group and make it a bit more competitive. So let's see how that go. But on the merit of the track record of the teams in the group across the last few international tournaments, I think Brazil and Morocco should be clear favorites. But let's see if Maxos and these guys have something for us.
Just to revert on that, all that's slightly dependent on if Italy makes it through. I think if Italy are able to come through from Porto, that changes the narrative entirely. But if not, then I still stand by Switzerland and.
Okay, so because of that reason, I'm going to skip Group D, which has USA, Paraguay, Australia, and one of the qualifiers from the Europe region, and head to Group E. Coach, Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador. Are we seeing the African champions qualify from this group?
They have to. I think if they don't qualify, it will be a massive disappointment. Because if you look at the group against the Germans themselves still have issues.
They are still in a rebuilding phase.
They are still in the rebuilding phase. And this Ivorian team, having won the AFCON, if they can stick to that form, I think they should be a worry.
Just point out, this is a German team that, if I'm right, they haven't made it from the last two group stages.
Exactly, in the last previous World Cup tournament. And I think Cote d'Ivoire against Ecuador, I think it will be a very, very equal game, because the Ivorians will match them for physicality. You know, those Ecuadors and those, they are very, very physical in their approach. So the Ivorians, I believe, will match their physicality, and then it will come down to technical ability. So I expect Cote d'Ivoire to sail through, and then Germany and Ecuador to battle for the other slot in the group.
Okay, so we'll move on to Group F: Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, and the winner of the playoff between Albania, Poland, Sweden, and Ukraine. But I tip
Netherlands and Japan.
Netherlands and Japan.
Yeah, I think that too. It looks Netherlands, Japan.
Okay, Manu, I want to come to you. Group G: Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand.
I mean, I think Belgium end up as favorites for this.
Okay.
They are also in the same problem that I had with the other team, that they have also passed Croatia, that they are slightly past the golden generation. They are at the wrong end of it, because they had Hazard and De Bruyne, and they weren't. They were able to get a World Cup quarterfinal against Brazil, semi-final against Brazil.
Yeah, they finished third. They
lost. They beat Brazil and then got to the semi-final and then lost to. France.
They lost to France in the semi-final.
Yeah, so I think Belgium should, at least in terms of the group, I think they should see themselves as favorites. Egypt should probably also. Iran, coach was saying that Iran are performing well, but I think if Egypt are serious, they have a lot of quality players, Marmoush and others, who clearly can make a difference. So I think that Egypt should finish second.
Mohamed Salah. I think that's the name he doesn't want to mention. Mohamed Salah.
They don't want to seem biased, but yeah, they have one of the best players in the world who can clearly make an impact. So that's
funny.
That helps.
Okay, so Group H has Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. A very tough group.
I think that should go. I think Spain and Uruguay should dominate that group.
Spain tops that, and then Uruguay to qualify.
Unless maybe Cape Verde decide as
hopefully maybe Cape Verde can get qualified as the third place team if they're able to beat Saudi Arabia.
Don't look down on them.
I wanted to avoid the groups with still undetermined teams, but this is too juicy to avoid. France, Senegal, Norway, and the winners of the playoff between Bolivia, Iraq, and Suriname.
I would like to see Suriname get in there. I'll even lie.
Really?
I would like to see Suriname get in there. Yeah. For like,
I'm going to be a bit. I think I'll tip France to top that group, and then Norway with Senegal a dark horse.
Yeah, I think this is one of those teams where I can say for certain that I think the third best placed team in this
will qualify.
At least if you are able to avoid defeat against the other two, at least. But I think this is one of those.
But I feel if Senegal play their cards well, I feel like they stand a chance in the group.
You see, it will come down to. You see, for teams like Senegal, anytime they've been to the World Cup, they've always looked like a team that could go a step or two better.
Yeah.
But they've always tend to lose focus. For example, in the last recent World Cup, you remember, all they should have done was to keep their calm in that last knockout game, and they should have progressed.
I mean, in 2018, when they knocked out on fair play,
they were knocked out on fair play.
So they've been slightly unlucky in two tournaments.
But in the last one, they were there as well. In the last World Cup, how did they get knocked out? Lack of, I think, clear indiscipline on the part of how to defend a lead
as a unit.
They had the lead, they threw it away, and then immediately they conceded a second goal, and then they got booted out. So because of that, you see, Norway, because of Erling Haaland, one thing that is very clear, he will go into the tournament very ruthless. One chance, he puts it away. That's his game. And if you have a player like that, it means every defender in that Senegal setup will have to be awake. That is what I don't trust of them.
Yeah, the fact that Haaland doesn't need too many chances to score as well.
And to be fair, Haaland, you would think that he's the type of player who needs quality chances, but he's shown that regardless of where he is, international level, Dortmund, he needs half a chance,
and he puts it away. So
score 2-3 goals. So
so quick thoughts on these ones. Group J: Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan.
I think Algeria should stand a chance in that group. If they can manage themselves against the other two teams, I think they should stand a good chance to go along. I think Argentina should dominate this group, but if Algeria are able to do their things well, I think they can be the second team to progress easily. I don't think it to be problematic at all. I feel like the quality apart from Argentina in the group, the quality they will be matched against, they should be able to do the job. Yeah.
Okay, so the final group, Group K, Portugal, the winner of the playoff between DR Congo, Jamaica, and New Caledonia, Uzbekistan, and Colombia.
I in my opinion, I think Portugal should be going into this tournament like I said, trying to win. Because 10 years ago they hadn't won an international trophy, and now in a space of they've been able to win about 3. And I think that the next stage for that is to try and win the World Cup. It would be interesting if we can get a new winner this time. Colombia too have been they did really well in 2014. I think when James was on the floor, but I think 2018 they got knocked out by England, and they haven't been able to compete necessarily with other teams from other how do you call it? Because in CONMEBOL there are only 10 teams in qualification, and the top, now that it's expanded, the top 6 teams qualify. You have to get an opportunity.
I just want to say something.
Bolivia on that. So just you have to be really bad to not qualify. I just want
to say something on the Argentina group. I think Argentina and Austria will qualify.
Okay.
I don't know, but I have that strong conviction in whatever Ralf Rangnick is doing with the Austrian team. I watched them in the last Euros. They were very difficult not to crack. And I think they are all attacking or defending game will pose a lot of problem for the teams. Algeria, the dark horse, if they can put their act together. Teams like Algeria, because of the way they play, they tend to present themselves
to the Europeans
to be beaten. So I think Austria and then Argentina will qualify. And in that Portugal group, without a doubt, Portugal will have to qualify. They've got too much talent for them not to step out of the group. So I expect them. And then, is it Colombia?
Yes.
And then who?
Colombia, Uzbekistan, Portugal, and the winner of the playoff between DR Congo, Jamaica, and New Caledonia.
I'll go Portugal and then Colombia to qualify.
Okay. Okay, so we've gone through the groups. We move away from World Cup qualifying for just a little bit because...
But we've not done the Black Stars group.
Oh. Okay, fine.
We should do it.
Okay. So Group L, England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. Who qualifies?
Clearly, Ghana to win the group and England to scrape second.
I think England to top the group, and then that second spot will be battle between the Black Stars and Croatia. And I think if we can defend better and score a bit more goals, we could edge it.
We play England in our second group game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel playing Panama can, if we play our cards right, can inure to our benefits. Because if we pick up a win,
it's a game we shouldn't draw.
It's a game we shouldn't. It's a game we shouldn't draw or lose. If we can pick up a win in that game, now we look at the England game like, let's try and get something out of it. If we can possibly get a draw. You see, I feel like that just makes our dynamics a bit better. If we
need to secure our qualification,
win, and then we
play the final game.
The deepest of blocks ever, and prevents them from going to scrape a point, get to the knockout, and then we see.
Yeah, so I just feel the ball is in our court now because of how the games are arranged. Pick up a very, very strong win in the first game, then let's see what the tournament brings after that.
Our good friend Ohene Safo.
Okay.
Yeah, who is in Canada now? He's texting me. You know, I asked where will the draw be where are the teams going to be based? Yeah. And he said that he's watching live in Canada, not this program, but on a Canadian TV, and they are saying some of the Group L games
will be in Canada,
will be played in Canada.
Okay.
Not necessarily the team being based in Canada.
That's fine.
But one of the some of the Group L games will be played in Canada. So it's likely that the Black Stars could play one of their games in Canada.
Okay, so he also says that I should let everyone know that 3 teams can qualify from the group. So we just need to beat Panama and beat them well.
That is the issue.
Or if it's true, by goal difference, if we can win by, I think England scored them by 7-1 in 2018. I think if we can manage,
so we can score more goals and defend well. You see, if you score, you don't get it cancelled out.
Yeah,
that is where it counts. Okay, score more goals, defend well. Against that Panama team, if we can put a minimum of 3 past them, that will be healthy.
Yeah, very healthy to our chances. So I think the ball is in our courts. The first game can set the tone for our World Cup or completely destroy our World Cup. It's completely up to us and the version of us that will turn up for that game. Because I feel like we turn up, we put up a strong performance, put some goals past them, don't concede goals. And now we are looking at ourselves just confident of that win at that stage. And we look at the rest of the group like, okay, something can be done. So I just feel like if we can get our act together, especially in the first game, win convincingly, it can set the tone for something great to happen in the World Cup.
Okay, so done with World Cup, the group stage. Now, just a couple of minutes on the Premier League football. Just run through the games and then we'll bring you your predictions. We'll get your predictions for each of these games. The biggest game of the weekend is the early game on Saturday. Aston Villa taking on Arsenal. Aston Villa are in fantastic form.
I think it's third versus first.
Yes, it's third versus first. In the
it's like a couple of running weeks where a fixture like that, third versus first, has come up.
Yeah. So Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Eden, your prediction for that one?
I think Unai has something for me. I'll call it a draw. I call it a draw. I think Unai has something for me. Unai always seems to have something for me when he plays Arsenal, and I'm hoping he comes up again. I feel like it's a spice up the title race. I don't want to see Arsenal run away with it. Not that I would like to see them win it, but I would like to see a little bit of a challenge. And I think a game like that presents itself as a tough nut for Arsenal. So let's see.
Before we continue, I'll just run through the fixtures from Group L in the World Cup. I'll go back to it. I think we've got some confirmed fixtures. On Wednesday, the 17th of June, England versus Croatia. That's in Canada.
Okay.
Same day, Wednesday, June 17, Ghana versus Panama in the USA, the AT&T Stadium. So Ghana will play Panama in the USA. Then Tuesday, the 23rd of June, Croatia versus Panama. That match will be played in the USA. Then same day, England versus Ghana. That will be played in Canada, in Toronto, the BMO field.
Oh, in Toronto.
Toronto. Yes, Toronto. Then the final matches in the group. Saturday, June the 27th, Panama taking on England. That will be in New Jersey in the MetLife Stadium. And then same day, of course, Ghana take on Croatia. That will be the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia.
Ooh, Philadelphia. Where coach at?
Yeah, so the Black Stars will play 2 matches in the USA, 1 in Canada. So the Black Stars will play England in Canada on the 23rd of June, and they'll play Croatia in the USA in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia.
When I told people
in Philadelphia,
Mexico,
in Philadelphia, where coach at?
You see, we've been praying for these things.
So no Mexico.
That is either America
or
Canada.
No Mexico.
Yeah, man. So we'll be in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Toronto.
We'll be in Toronto,
Yeah.
Philadelphia, and I believe
The TO and Philly.
So 2 in the US, 1 in Canada.
Yes, 2 in the US.
This should be a
1 in
massive
Canada.
experience. So, hey, you're
So Arlington, Dallas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then Toronto, Canada.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
It was wonderful.
I mean, to be fair, we've been to Morocco a lot over the last few years. There have been so many tournaments there, so I think we can miss this AFCON. But the World Cup, we have to be there.
We have to be there. Okay, so back to the Premier League. Aston Villa, Arsenal.
Yeah, I see. I call it a draw.
A draw in that
Yeah.
game.
It's being played at Villa Park, right? Villa Park.
It's being played at
Villa Park. I think Unai can pull out something.
So
there.
Arsenal needs to start losing. And my problem isn't just with them. The problem is every day. The reason why I think Adam was pointing out that it seems like the chasing pack keeps rotating is because they keep losing.
Man, they are not serious.
Chelsea lose and then Man City win and then
nobody
Man
seems
City
to.
lose.
Yeah.
City seemed to be a little, but even they it wasn't too long ago that they lost to, was it Newcastle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope Aston Villa can win to at least keep the title race
competitive.
Because the thing you need for a title is for Arsenal to start feeling the pressure. If they are 10, 12 points clear, they don't feel the pressure. So I'd go for an Aston Villa win.
Aston Villa win. Coach, Arsenal, Aston Villa.
I think Arsenal will win.
Arsenal win.
Because defensively, they hardly concede goals.
I
Villa,
think-
on the other hand,
I think I saw Mosquera is out for about 7 or 8 weeks.
Yeah, he will.
Now they're without Mosquera, Gabriel, and Saliba.
Don't worry, there's Timber. Those guys are
Jury.
See, they are specialists in
I
the
think
role.
at some point we need to talk about Arteta and this injury because it happened. It seems to be, and it's never long-term injuries. It's just these little muscle injuries. And I've heard someone talk about how these are usually probably down to the way they train. And I think that's why he increased the squad so that he can have more players to choose from. But it seems like some way, somehow, he's never able to have all his players fit at the same time.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been like that since the start of the season. Because even for the season, Hazard got injured for the start of the season. They've had too many recurring problems in different areas.
Okay, so just quick predictions and then we close this. Manchester City, Sunderland.
Where's that being played at?
Etihad.
Sunderland, they are doing things this season. I think City should win, but they will edge it slightly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tottenham, Brentford.
Frank needs to win, but Brentford are in good form, so I'd go for a draw.
A draw. Bournemouth, Chelsea. Bournemouth are in horrible form.
Their form is very horrible.
Yeah.
Chelsea, the rotation will have to come to the fore, meaning that this is to justify why he rotated the team in midweek. So I expect Chelsea to go out there, but it's going to be a very difficult game. If you want to beat Bournemouth, you need to match their intensity, you need to match their runs, you need to match everything.
You need to run.
And Chelsea have a Champions League match to be played, I think, on Tuesday. So I want to see how Enzo Maresca is looking, because Chelsea actually will be playing 9 games in 30 days.
Yeah.
Starting from this
weekend.
So it will come down to the man management skill of the two. It is good to rotate, but the rotation should be done in a smart way. He rotated in midweek. I think he wasn't smart in the rotation. There was the need to do so, but in doing so, you don't put Tosin Adirabio and Balder.
I think he himself has confessed that his mistake was that he should have started Joshua Champong.
Yes,
That's the one thing he
Champong,
said.
and then that is what I'm saying, that there wasn't any smartness to that.
Shout out to Champong.
Hopefully he would have
The Black
learned
Stars
from that
open.
and then do if he does the right thing, and then he will Delap. You know what? I don't know what is wrong with that player.
Apparently, the lap is not a deadly finisher.
No, he cannot be a deadly finisher. We know him. He's English. He's overly obsessed. He's overly obsessed with the physicality of the game, not with the playing football. But I expect Chelsea to get a result. I cannot see them losing back-to-back games.
Okay, of course, we'll bring you updates on the Republic of Football this weekend from 2 to 5 p.m. on Saturday and on Sunday. Any last words, any shout-outs for everybody before we go?
Shout out to Joseph Champo.
Joseph Champo for you.
Cherry Black Stars, go all the way in 2026 World Cup. We can do it.
We can do it. Coach, do you have anything to say?
I think finally the die is cast. We know where we'll be, or we know where we'll be playing our games. 1 game in Canada, 2 in the States. Those people who have been put in charge to make sure that our visa are properly processed. We don't want any kumsi kumsa. We don't want any luguzon. Make sure that the visa is smoothly given. U.S. Embassy. There's a reason why we are playing 2 games in America. But we need more visas from the embassy. God bless us all. Amen.
Well, it's a wrap. Thank you for joining us for the 2026 FIFA